All right. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 114. It's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. And happy Patriarch's Day. Salute to all the wonderful fathers out there in the realm. You are appreciated and respected. The majority of Lords have returned from our West Coast trip, and we have the E3 2019 Aftermath series with two very special guests, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who, in my opinion, is the epitome of true gamer passion combined with the blueprint of journalistic integrity. This Lord exemplifies professionalism on every article he does, yet at the same time doesn't take himself too seriously with his vintage wit and trademark humor. Introducing the editor for WindowsCentral.com and co-host of the Xbox 2 podcast, fellow XCOM fan, fellow Division 2 fan, and the Lord who correctly changed his Twitter handle to 2077 for the game of the generation. That's Cyberpunk. Live from Germany and making his return into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Jess Corden. How you doing, sir?
Hey, man. Your intros are legendary. They're so much better than Rand's intros.
I love how you like throw Rand under the bus.
Rand, this guy's making me feel special. You don't make me feel special.
How's it going, Jess, man? Good seeing you out there at Fan Fest and running around, man. How has things settled down for you a little bit?
Oh, God, yeah. The last few weeks have been hectic as hell. And now it's like, no E3's over. I'm just like,
Yep.
So I'm just writing and chilling, and then I'm going on vacation.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing too, man, about a week or two. You just need a mental break because it's like you're running around, you're doing so much, and so much information. And yeah, I saw you out there, man. You had a lot to talk about, man. So that's good. No doubt. And of course, we have a Lord who has given us 1 million reasons as to why he sits on the Xbox Iron Throne. Whether it be his balanced opinions on latest gaming news or his clear and concise presentation in delivering it, this Lord should easily be in everyone's top 5 list. Introducing the creator and host of the Thor YouTube channel and co-host of the Xbox 2 podcast, Mr. Soft Serve himself and the Lord of crushing fake Xbox rumors so we don't get too gassed. Hear the front alert? Live from the south side of the Shah and making his return into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Thor 19. How you doing, sir?
What is going up? Cognito, you make me feel so special, more so than Jez ever could. He's so mean to me sometimes, you know?
Oh, they're going to be going at each other.
They're going at it early. I love it.
I haven't, well, no, I speak to Jez every day, but we haven't actually spoken since last time we did a podcast.
Wow. How long has it been?
The week, what was it, the Thursday before E3, that week before?
Wow.
Yeah, something like that.
Been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has. A lot to talk about. We'll see who's willing to tell the truth and who's frauding up in here. You know what I mean?
Let's get it.
Shots early.
Let's get it. I like to come for me early, but don't worry about it, sir. I got my bulletproof vest on. I'm ready.
No doubt, Red is ready. We already know. And of course, we got the 4 horsemen of gaming, those original lords here at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the hound of the young wolf. My man with the breathtaking beard, Lord Adam. How you doing, sir?
Breathtaking beard. Well,
breathtaking.
To be fair, they can't see my beard.
Yeah, there you go. You gonna get that front alert now? Or you gonna get it later? When you gonna want it? You want it now?
You can give that to me whatever you want.
Here you go.
Man.
Boom.
Whatever you want.
Shake
you can
shake it around.
You can keep that stuff playing until it goes dead because it doesn't matter. To me.
It's never gonna go dead, sir, because I got it charged. So,
what's going on, man?
Pretty good. Still finally recovered from jet lag. Like that's real. That's a real thing. Like the past 2 days I've been like on autopilot just waiting to sleep.
Trust me, I know the feeling. I'm still in recovery mode. That's it, man. So still settled in, you're almost back to normal.
Yeah, I finally got a good amount of sleep last night.
Good. That's what's up. That's what's up. And of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank, my man, Lord Denzel Sovereign. How we doing, sir?
What's up, man? Still under the table.
What's up, Smooth?
Oh my
under
God,
the table
man.
from? You ain't drink it all. Shut up.
Oh, damn.
Under the table.
I'm not a heavyweight anymore, sir.
Yeah, you extra lightweight. You so lightweight, we ain't even see the light go into the weight.
You know what's funny? He got a little intoxicated that first night, and then when we went to the Bethesda thing, like he took one sip, was like, "I'm going home."
I was like, I'm done.
I got a whole solve down because Attic, you forget we was at the what was it, the Tom Urban spot? He's getting so I was going in on them drinks, man. So let him
So I was going.
I'm not a bad. See, the thing
listen, his drinks in the house.
This everybody's asleep, and King is wide awake at 1 a.m.
Yeah,
let's get these games on.
Yo, all day. They pop up in the night, like, yeah, what's up? Why y'all not rocking?
Cold vampire. I never told you. I said when the sun go down, the king come out. Back for real.
So I was done. You know, my old man came out, but that's cool.
Have you settled in, sir?
I mean, as much as possible. I mean, again, tomorrow I'll go back to 4 a.m. So we'll see how I do. So shout out to Lord Boomstick, Mr. Boomstick XL, and our friends over at Pepto Bismol for holding me down.
Oh yeah, Pepto for holding your stomach down. Shout out to them. No doubt. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, King of the Statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, Lord Corvette King. How are we doing, sir?
Oh, hold on. I got 30 shades on because it's something that happened yesterday. All right, we go. So, we didn't get a chance to see that hamburger get eaten by Tyson Fury. You know, he felt all good because he put on 25 extra pounds. Something that he shouldn't be doing. That let me know that he didn't take that fight truly seriously, and nor should you. You know, you're not Anthony Joshua, so you're not gonna get rolled up by a tomato can. That fight, like I said, was old boy was a hamburger and he deserved to get eaten. Got his lunch ate in the second round. It was absolute garbage fight. It was so terrible that ESPN should be ashamed of it themselves.
He was styling on him. You see how he was styling on him, though? He was
styling on him. The glasses is off. He's garbage. Next, no. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Delilah HD. Delilah, thank you. Our video that you shot of me using the xCloud is at 25,000 views. So I do appreciate you being right there and holding it down, and you bear witness to the facts that a lot of these frauds out here are running with some different narrative.
Oh man, dealing with the frauds early on xCloud.
I had to take a tweet down yesterday. He hit me up last night because I was in my feelings. King
out here bobbing over right here, man. Shout out to Delilah HD. She was out there holding it down. Yeah, your man was out there. Tyson Fury looking like Apollo Creed out doing. He did the living in America. So
Anybody catch the senior circuit in
Leota
Shout out to a real fight with two old men getting it in. That was delicious.
Where they was at?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it was Foxwoods or something like that.
That was delicious.
Some backwoods place, you know.
What up, baby? What's going on? Top of the top. You already know.
Mohegan Sun. They was in the Mohegan Sun.
No doubt. And of course, we have the Lord of the Cooperative Experience and Gaming Ninja himself, the Shinobi, Lord 2077 Cognito. Spread that realness.
We going there?
Yes, we going there. You know, send that
compromise.
I feel like I'm starting to believe that, you know, just hear me out. I'm starting to believe that, like, you know, that Cyberpunk 77. That's not even really a game. It's just a way to make people into a cult.
Yeah, he's been hacked. We've all been hacked.
You go in there, they hit you with the pepper spray, they knock you out. You wake up in like a little like a little chair. They have some stuff going in your vein.
I like to refer to the game as Deus Ex XL.
Oh my wow!
Yeah, that's the.
I'm glad I got Jazz here because I'm pretty confident.
Look, just because he got the juice put in his stuff, don't mean you ain't a code.
I will not talk to the uneducated.
Tell me about it. Look like Deus Ex to me. Walk like Deus Ex. Smell like Deus Ex. Look like Deus Ex. It's Deus Ex. I can go play it now. It's in Game Pass.
You know what's funny, King? That's not even Cyberpunk. That's Deus Ex. That's the next one, the beta.
I know.
And CD Projekt Red's using it to build an army to take over the world.
Putting that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear.
And you need to hear that. You might need a little bit of help. We might need to get you into some kind of role play, man.
Later, but yo, shout out to not much gaming obviously because I was running around, but shout out to my dudes on the Switch. Phantom Drop Doctrine. It came out. Creative Forge Games. It's kind of been a rough situation from that studio. They've gone through some turmoil stuff, and actually, like one of the lead devs I interviewed, he's no longer there. He was promoted to CFO, but left. It's just a mess. It's this Creative Forge teams that exists now is not the same. But shout out to the team because Phantom Doctrine is a cult classic. It finally came out on Switch, and it's for XCOM lovers, for espionage lovers. I highly recommend it. I played like 6 hours straight on my flights going and coming back. Such a good game, and like I said, I just wanted to shout those guys out because still the game was good. But anyway, that was that for me. But I want to do something a little different, like we normally do. Obviously, we always do the game stuff and all that. But for those who attended E3, you know what I'm saying, I just want to go real quickly through the Lords and just shout out some experiences, like just any special memory moments, or like maybe a person you want to shout out that made your E3 experience. I want to start with Jazz. You were there. Any little special moments, any shout outs you want to give during your E3 experience?
Man, so many. I mean, there was so many.
Don't lie. It's when you met me at E3.
Oh, wait, that
didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Your breath itself.
But seriously, like there was so many like just awesome people came up to say hi, and from the industry and from the FanFest too and stuff like that. I think that's what made it for me. Like, forget the games. It was,
Tell them that's why
the games are awesome too, obviously, but it's like, you really do get a sense of community when you go to E3, like across the whole industry, like people who go every year, stuff like that.
It's like Cognito said, it's kind of like a tradition at this point.
Yeah, it's like a fraternity.
I think it's a little bit different for Jazz because, like, he literally does it for a living. Mm-hmm. But like for us, it's like, obviously
they cut that out.
We go there for ILP, but it's kind of been a tradition. Even if we wasn't in ILP, we would still probably be going. So
yeah, I'm still, Lord Rand keeps breaking my heart every year. I don't get to see his breathtaking. One day, Rand.
I was there, man. 2016.
Man. What's funny is I really didn't know you. Like I knew of you, but I didn't know you the way I know you. That's why
I'll force Rand to go in 2020.
Yeah, come on.
How you gonna force him? You gonna get a plane over there and just like, dude, he's pretty big person now. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'll threaten to leak his nudes or something.
There you go.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
that
works.
We got the super chat.
Right. Lord King, the honor.
Do it.
Oh man, Lynchman was good. Thank you for the $10 super chat. You're all breathtaking. Salute the Iron Lords and Xbox too. Cheers from Germany. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
I said a real cool tweet yesterday about that. So shout out to Megatron.
Yo, you know what? He's on to something. He's on to something. I really do think, shout out to us and cheers.
Oh my God, the Lord of pandering.
You know what he's on to, King? I'm starting to think Cyberpunk's in Germany now. That's what he's on to. He's on to something.
Moving along with E3 experiences. Let's get Lord at it, man. Any shout outs, any memorable moments on your E3 trip?
Well, I've been watching Boogie 2998 for like the past 5-6 years. I finally got to meet that dude. Mm-hmm. I saw a really, really nice Tifa cosplay. I have to mention that.
Yes, we know how you think with the cosplay situations at E3.
There was actually a really nice Cloud cosplay too.
Yeah, actually, shout out to the Final Fantasy guys. They had a great. Cosplay.
I got pushed out of line, so I missed out on playing Final Fantasy 7. So they got to bring that up too.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, or that was pretty much it as far as any more memorable joints?
I got to see a lot of funny King Twitter videos. That was pretty good.
Yes, King was lit on Twitter for sure. No doubt.
Especially that word Kratos thing was. That was
the booty to the southbound. That was funny.
You at Kratos?
Yeah. You know what it reminded me when y'all did it? It reminded me of Warriors.
Yo, you have no idea.
Warrior, where's Jake? I was dying.
And they kept like rotating around each other like they were around.
Right.
Like they had a gravitational pull around them.
It was like they were surrounding them. It was classic. I love that. That was what's up. No doubt. Lord Sovereign back at E3 this year. You know, it's good. We missed you. Took a year off. Yeah, man. How's it? What was some experiences for you? Or just any memorable moments or shout outs?
Just the most fun, like seeing everybody at the house. You know what I mean? Lord Sinister, not Sinister.
Wow. Y'all ain't gonna you was gonna bring that up too. You just about to go in on that, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we haven't seen Sin for a long time. Hanging out with Lord Ghost, just that camaraderie. Even though because some people in Fan Fest, some people are not. Like our schedules are different, and we didn't get to hang out as much as we'd like to. But still, just that camaraderie in the house was cool. And then just sort of being part of everything that you guys have been part of.
Nothing went missing this year.
Oh man!
And I gotta give a shout out to Boomstick. He knows what he did, but I gotta give a shout out to him.
Boom's the man.
What did Boom do to you? Boom. What did he do to you?
But just being a part of what you guys have been a part of for all these years, you know, I got to meet people that you guys have known for years. So I felt a little more included this year, you know what I mean? And hopefully, you know what I mean? Because the first year I went, everybody was sort of doing their own thing as well. And it didn't feel like the experiences that you guys have been talking about since you all have been in Fan Fest or whatnot. So just to get a little more of a taste of that was fun. But when it comes to the game, honestly, when you're walking around the show floor trying to, you know, just get coverage and stuff like that, the least thing you're interested in is playing, which is weird, but it's true. Like, I don't really, if I can get my hands on something without too much hassle, cool. Beyond that,
I got you, Enkyo. I got you.
I think I played 3 games at E3. I played
Bleeding Edge and I played xCloud. That's what I played.
I played Halo 5 off xCloud. I played Bleeding Edge and I played Attack All Humans. That's Destroy All Humans. That's literally all I played.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, THQ Nordic. That was what's up.
I know.
I feel that was it. Just kind of like ingratiating yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, that was fun.
No doubt. Lord King back at E3 in tremendous style and swag.
Let me mute my mic.
Any memorable experiences or shout outs, sir?
Okay. I'm not gonna shout out anybody because it's way too many people to actually shout out. So all the people that I actually DM or I actually talk to or I actually followed that I got a chance to meet, it was ridiculous. I do want to say for one person though,
talk to me.
Eric's.
Eric's Gaming.
Yeah. And you know, when I saw him, what threw me off is in his videos and stuff like that, he looks shorter.
Yes.
Old boy is my height. All right. And he saw me because I was talking to Monkey and he saw me that threw me off completely. Yeah. But other than that, I listen, everybody equally. We had such a great time. I do want to give a lot of frauds out to a lot of you.
We giving fraud alerts.
I want to give a lot of you frauds because I sent you the address and said the door's open. If I sent you a DM and you got the door was open, it was a go for you. It was a good go. We had the jacuzzi, the hot tub, the arcade games. Alcohol was on deck. It was crazy.
Yes.
And the sad fact is, you Hollywood me, and I'm gonna let you know. But I do know this though. Once you saw I was out in Calabasas, once you said out, he out in Drakeville, he out in Kanye Land.
People saw that Uber price, they were like, "Nah, we can let the Lord rock."
Yeah. So y'all left me
one of those people.
You was already at the house. So shut up. But and we had a memorable situation where I had to throw somebody in the actual bushes. We're not gonna get into that. Those who know about the stories at E3 will stay in the stories at E3.
Yes.
But bushes was seen.
Megatron got the front.
Megatron, there you go. As long as you know who you are, sir. But it was such a great thing. You get the pass though. You get the pass in Megatron because you put that rooftop party together. You got the team together day one. Corden on your part. I do appreciate that, and the drinks was flowing. So shout out to Megatron for doing his E3 yearly jump off. That was so lit. Everybody needs to know that he is the man that knows the man that knows the man that is the man, and he keeps everybody together. So shout out to Megatron.
I really appreciate you, brother. Like I said, when we get that invite, you know the Lord's rolled through. Yeah, man, I got a lot, but I try to go through as fast as possible for myself. But first of all, like Saab said, shout out to Boomstick XL. That true blue. That's my brother right there. Great to work alongside him. His work ethic second to none. It's just someone as crazy as me up in the night with ideas and stuff. And that's my dude, man.
Them dudes was sequestered over into the little camp house and not coming outside talking about, you outside? Yeah, I'm in the jacuzzi at 4 o'clock in the morning by myself.
Listen, bro, we got the guest house, all right? You know what I'm saying? A certain type of level to that. It's a VIP velvet rope situation.
Lock your door.
No, shout out to him. Shout out to the Cali crew. You know what I'm saying? And Requayo Bo, that was love. Shout out to Maka, man. I ran into him a few times, man. And he actually jumped on a podcast I was doing live with Brad, which was kind of funny. And then true friend to the realm, the great Bill Still, man. Iron Lord respect, man. Showed it. A lot of stuff we'll talk about later. Mr. xCloud, a lot of love. Shout out to Season Gaming, Ainsley Bowden, LeBird Signs. Finally get a chance to meet them. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? The whole 108, Bloody, K Mega, GWG, Grown Women Gaming, they was out there.
Native.
Native in the flesh. Sam told her I saw him on the roof. And shout out to PlayStation, bro. Bumped him in a few times. I got to shout out Bungie, Kotaku. That was ill, soft, remember?
Oh, yeah. Jason Schreier, Stephen Tortillo. Thanks for showing love. Yeah.
Of course, Deej. Yeah, that's the legendary Deej, who we ignored through the whole night. Like that was a funny stuff, but we're telling no. Like we literally just chopping it up with Schreier Taylor and Deej just standing.
And the funny thing is, like, we derailed their whole thing. Like they were walking across the street, and then before you know, they're talking in front of that building when we leave.
Shout out to Pacta with the best whiskey on deck. You know what I'm saying? That was good. And of course, love Matt Piscatella. I met Danny O'Dwyer for the first time, which was kind of cool. Good dude, got a chance. And last thing, anybody who pulled up, you know what I'm saying, like during any of the Lord's travels, like anybody, like Hip Hop Gamer, Red Infamy, Super G, my boy Wyatt, the young developer, N64 Josh. You know what I'm saying? Oh man! And the last thing I'm gonna say, I know we're gonna talk too much about games, but I just want to give out a couple of studios that really, like every year, but this year especially, CD Projekt Red. We will get into it. Oh my lord, Warhorse, my man Toby, man, just to see that journey.
Sorry, I missed you, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, man, it was lit, man. It's tremendous love, and I gotta shout Addict out, man. Ninja Theory, yo. I like that crew. Really fun.
Ronnie Tucker,
yeah, real passionate. Shout out to Ronnie. You know what I'm saying? That she was tremendous. And Solve, you know, we got Rebellion Studios, bro.
Yeah, they looked out. They did an excellent job. We couldn't take any footage from in there, but these guys really gave us the red carpet treatment. Evil Genius 2 looks amazing. I didn't get to see Zombie Army, but everything that I've seen of it looks very cool.
Last year they killed it. I shout out to Pete Fisher, you know, tremendous guy, a lot of passion for gaming. This year, even more so, like you said, Evil Genius 2 and all that. But that's all we got. So we get into the show. We got a lot to recap, a lot to discuss. So I'm going to switch it up. We all know a lot of you waiting for the main event that is Microsoft, but we're going to fly through the others first. You know what I'm saying? Real quick. So for those who actually either attended or watched these conferences, we're going to start off with the PC gaming show. Who didn't watch? Let's find out who didn't watch or the PC gaming show at all. So
me.
Okay, who's that? So Rand, you're fraud.
Me.
Okay. Rand's in the fraud. Okay.
Our company actually owns that. I found out, and I was like, I was saying to my boss, like, can we not get this information under embargo? We own them. Or like our company does, isn't it? And he was like, "Oh yeah, maybe we should look into that." But it was like way too late at that point. Right. So but no, I didn't even watch it though.
Oh, you even so Jez and Red on both in the bushes on this one. I'll set it off because it was me, actually Attic and King. Attic didn't make it. King, you didn't make it either, right?
No. We ain't gonna say I didn't make it.
Yeah,
your boy got up to go. Okay.
And
for some reason they reserved way less than they could actually hold in that building.
So it looks like this is me and Solve then.
Yes, basically.
Real quick, your impressions of said PC game show.
I think this year was a little weirder than past years. Like in terms of the organization, it didn't seem as organized as before. Obviously, the host, I forget his name, but he's very good.
I heard they let Mark Cerny take over.
Oh, we're not going to disrespect Sean Plot. That's one of the.
But it was it just felt a little more disorganized. There were moments like they were doing presentations from up on top, but then it wasn't being forecast. It wasn't being broadcast on the screen. So if you're down below, you're not seeing anything that's going on upstairs. So it was weird. I don't know if they had some technical issues, but overall, it just seemed like a lot of the PC games that were shown were very cool, smaller games, things that are very PC centric, and obviously, but it just didn't have that wow factor that other ones did, where you had certain announcements that you maybe didn't expect at the PC gaming show. Like honestly, we did miss the last 30 minutes because we had to go get ready for Ubisoft, so we left. But I just felt overall it just didn't feel as great as past years. Obviously, a lot of announcements with the Epic Game Store, shout out, obviously, seeing Shenmue going to the Epic Game Store,
the legend Yu Suzuki in the building.
Things like that were cool, but overall,
shout out to Epic.
Yeah.
Stop being petty. Stop being petty.
Favorite company ever.
Favorite, yeah. They retweeting Attic now. Oh my lord.
Oh my lord. Yeah, that's funny.
Continue.
So that, I mean, again, it was kind of meh. It was kind of meh.
Yeah, I'll double down. I mean, we'll make this quick. Look, nothing really moved me too hard. And the thing about it, low key, PC Gaming Show will usually be one of my favorite conferences. Always. Like they always usually show. And again, I got to shout out. I believe his name's Sean Plot, actually, aka Day 9. He's one of the best conference hosts. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you've never seen this man, man can host a press conference. He is a beast. He's a wizard. I'm taking notes, man. This guy is a beast. And it's just like I don't know. Just nothing really moved me. And then
one thing I will say quickly is that when it comes to gameplay, PC Game Conference is the best. You get basically all gameplay. You're not getting any CGI trailers. You're getting gameplay up and down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what it is just that I think I was kind of on the Attic train. I thought Epic was going to show out more hard with exclusives, and I didn't really get that vibe because obviously they were hosting the PC gaming shows, and I was that. And then, Shenmue 3, I'm biased, but I got to keep it real. Even though Yu Suzuki's my gaming hero and all this other stuff, it just the whole Epic Store controversy ruined it.
I got footage of that. I got actually footage of him, talking it and and going through the show.
Yeah, and then it's like, to be honest, it's like I got to keep it real. I'm Shenmue to the core, but the faces.
That's in the bushes. You don't expect anything but what you saw there.
The lip syncing off. I'm like,
it's one of those so bad it's good. Like it's one of those things you don't have to accept it. It's bad as bad, but it's it's old school Channel 5.
Channel 5. No. You get no passes here, sir. That game looked like a hot mess. It looked like somebody got finessed at the door. It looked like they checked your pocket and took your wallet.
You saw what a lot of people were saying, right? A lot of people wanted their money back from the Kickstarter once they found out it was an Epic Store exclusive.
Yep.
You know what? That's exactly how people felt after they saw xCloud and went to Stadium. They wanted their money back.
So that's what I got. Lord Sav, what was your PC gaming A through F ranking?
I give it, honestly, just because the lack of the wow factor, I give it a C- because the content was there. It just wasn't, for whatever reason, it didn't pop like previous years for me. And the few technical, missteps and stuff like that. But beyond that, I mean, the content was there, so I give it a C.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a D, y'all.
Question.
Didn't like it at all. Go ahead. What's the question, Attic?
I didn't watch that, obviously, because they wouldn't let me in. But so Shenmue 3
was on
exclusive.
Epic stuff. Look at you excited. Yeah, Shenmue 3.
I got to look up some reactions after the podcast.
Yeah, it's a big controversy because the Epic.
I love it.
I understand. Wait, hold on. They're not giving refunds and people are pissed. Like
good.
Oh wow, you got the world.
Good.
Let's see the world burn.
Yo, he is the new Jeff. I am down for all his smoke.
He's all about that Epic Store smoke. So man. So it's a D for me. Just like I said, I'm just a little disappointed because again, I usually get excited for that show. Wasn't up to expectation. But hopefully they will bounce back. We will move on to the next conference. Square Enix. Who didn't see Square Enix?
It was Cognito's favorite one.
We'll get into that. Rand and Lord Jeff, did you guys both see Square Enix?
I was supposed to attend, but I couldn't.
Okay.
I watched it, yes.
Next time, Jazz, when they get that, make me your +1.
I don't think they did +1s, but
if you saw that,
I don't think they did plus anything. I think they did a lot of minuses.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get into them when it's my turn.
So, being that Lord Rand of our guest has seen it, let's talk Square Enix conference impressions and then your A through F ranking.
My A through F. See, I didn't write anything down for Squares, so I'll just go off of memory. I think they start. Did I start with Final Fantasy VII remake? I think they did.
Pretty much.
And it was really good because you want to know what? Gameplay demo.
There you go.
Gameplay demo. What? Gameplay demos at E3.
I know, who would have thought, Rand?
Man, I feel like that's a shot, but I don't know.
Yo, Addict. I'm starting to see the narrative right now, and old boy is loading his clips.
King is ready. Let's go. Get it, Rand. Let's get to it.
Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games of all time.
So then you're biased, sir.
Well, okay, so maybe a little bit. However, I don't like the idea that it's episodic. I don't like that it's basically 2 discs of content for the first 5% of the game. Like, when are they actually going to finish the rest of the game?
That's not my question. Has Square come out openly and said when the first one's going to end? Because I looked at
the first game is Midgard.
The whole first Midgard, yeah.
Which is like
that's not even half of the.
But I mean, did they come out and say it's just Midgard?
Yes,
that's pretty much what they said.
I'm sure they've come out and said the first game.
Because I looked for tweets, I couldn't.
No, he said it. He said it while he was there.
So that makes and it took them this long just to do Midgard. I don't know how long we're going to be waiting for remake 2 and remake 3. How many remakes are they going to need?
I think
I'm like Rand, right? Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yes.
If not my favorite game of all time. And as such, I find it hard to get excited for this. Even though the gameplay looks super sleek and super slick, all I can think about is what are they going to cut out of this? How long is the next part? When's the next part coming out? Like 2025 or something? Like, it's hard to get excited knowing that they could butcher it completely. Like, just make it like a flashy sort of, I don't know, reimagining of what the game is. And I'm sure it'll be fun, especially for people who've never played the original. But I'm so damn close to the original that it's,
Well,
it's
here's the
hard
other
to
thing
get excited.
Yeah, Ren.
Is I'm looking at like, all right, so it comes out March 2020 on the PlayStation. They could eventually down the road on Xbox or whatever is like, do I play it on the PS4 Pro or do I just play it on the PS5 or Xbox Scarlet?
Right.
Because that's where the next game, if they ever make a sequel to it, is going to be anyways. Do I just wait for them all to be finished and just play them all back to back?
I can't wait that long. But I think that we're gonna see the episode 2. I think we're gonna see an episode every 2 years.
Well, let me ask you this though, Rand. Let me ask you this. What about what was actually shown? Like, and as far as the gameplay and stuff like that.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Okay, so were you impressed?
I'm down for it, and it was the highlight of Square Enix's conference because the rest of the show, on that little downward trajectory.
Yes, talk about it.
Someone. I don't even know, man. You guys are tripping.
We'll get to you later, Addict. Like, continue the gospel about Square. Keep talking, Rand. I want to hear more.
Okay, so Final Fantasy VIII Remake, that's pretty cool. 8's one of my favorite Final Fantasies. God, what else did they show? Like,
are we going to talk about the Party City Avengers? Let me stop.
Party City event. Yeah, they ended with that, but I don't know. Like, it was like if you didn't really care about Final Fantasy, it seemed like you wouldn't have liked their conference. But the big thing they showed off at the end was Avengers, which I'm not a fan of how it looks.
Facts.
I'm not a fan of the way the characters look.
Facts.
How the faces look. I understand we're about a year away from the game coming out, so okay, that's not an issue. I'm not a fan of the character voices because as much as I love Nolan North and Troy Baker and who's the girl's name?
Ashley Johnson or
they don't seem like they're trying to hide their voices. It's literally Iron Man as Nolan North and Bruce Banner as Troy Baker. It's like I hear them and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, you're not even trying to kind of do some sort of accent or.
Thank you. And what's up with Thor's face? Why Iron Man look like Thor in the face? What's up with the face?
I don't know. So, like, as much as I'm looking forward to playing the game, I'm like, oh, these are already kind of some negative things. And then they showed the trailer, and it's like they showed those 22 seconds snippet of gameplay, but you can't really, you know, it's gameplay, but it's edited in a way where it's like, okay, so what exactly is going on? Yeah, I wasn't really that impressed by Avengers at all. But I mean, I'll still check it out when it comes out. What, May 2020? But yeah, not for me at least. Wasn't really the best first impression.
So overall conference ranking A through F, sir.
Square. A through F. I give it a C.
Okay, C it is. Lord Addict feeling very strongly about this. Are you have your impression, sir?
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't like. There's a couple low points I didn't really like. Overall, I think I'd give it like a C plus. I felt was better than Microsoft, but we won't go into that right now. You know, I felt like the reason people think Final Fantasy VII is going to take forever to have another one is because a lot of people forget that, you know, they dished a lot of the work that I think Bandai Namco was originally working on that game, which, you know, that's Square Enix's fault. Why would you outsource Final Fantasy VII? That makes no sense. But anyway, you know, I think we're going to see a return quicker because they actually have the, you know, the engine and everything settled out and they're working on it internally now. It's like they're like full force in Final Fantasy now. And, you know, what I really enjoyed is it looks like that they're making more of a narrative focus in this game than they did the other ones. Because if you look at those trailers, there's certain scenes that just wasn't in the original one at all. Like, it wasn't even hinted. There's a time where Cloud first met Aerith, and there's like these little ghost things that was around them, and that wasn't in the original game.
Right.
It
was? Oh, Jed's correcting. He said it was.
Aerith.
He's making fun of me. He's making fun of me.
He's making fun of
Eris, or however you want to announce it. It seemed like, you know, the original characters, Jesse Briggs, and then like they're kind of building up on those a little bit more. What I liked about it is the very first boss in Final Fantasy is that spider take thing. And you know, it had phases. You did enough damage, you jumped on walls. So hopefully, you know, they do more of that, and it's just not like one boss. And so I'm really excited about that. There's a couple things. Like, I hope it's not just to Midgar. Like, that would be very disappointing.
It's just to Midgar.
Yeah, it's just to Midgar, so be disappointed.
Because like the biggest scene I want to see in Final Fantasy VII Remake is in Midgar. But I think that's a really weird time to cut it. Like, if I were them, I would cut it after the past, when you go to the next town and Cloud explains what happened, like when he was in, you know, the whole Sephiroth thing. I don't want to like spoil anything big. That's
what you're talking about, the scene with the dress. That's the best scene in Final Fantasy.
No,
how do you spoil a 20-year-old game?
That is true. That is true.
Well, to be fair, how many people is going to be playing this that's never played it?
I don't know. I mean, would people complain when you go watch Titanic and the ship sinks?
Look, we are in a very vocal space now. Okay, people are gonna complain regardless what.
Look, I understand not spoiling like Avengers Endgame and movies that just came out like a month or 2 months ago, but for a video game that literally released 20 years ago, I'm sorry. I'm not. Hey, guess what? Eris dies in the game, although Shredder won't die in this movie.
Sacrilege!
Ran,
spoilers!
Do it.
Get him, Ran.
But
yeah,
I love it, Ransom. Yo, 20 years, you had better been on top of it.
That's right.
Where I would end it is where the whole Sephiroth thing happened in the past. What the biggest scene that I want to really see is the scene where you get captured at the top of the Shinra Mansion, their little headquarters thing, and Cloud wakes up to like everyone dead. Like that's the biggest scene I want to see in 7 because like that was a pretty gory scene back then.
What about the Genova recap scenes where they go in that like what is it, the Mako reactor in Nibelheim?
Yeah, that's going to be crazy
all
too.
The mutants in the tubes and stuff.
There's a couple things like I want to see when the weapons get revived. Like there's a couple really good scenes, but just that particular scene because you know
this is exactly what I'm talking about. There's so many great memories from that game,
yeah. And
if any one of them isn't in it, I'm going to be like. The whole game's ruined now. I don't care. Like this little detail ain't there. The whole game's ruined.
Yeah. The reason that particular scene resonates more with me is because like I really like Sephiroth as a villain, and like that's the first time he's introduced into that game to that caliber. Like at first, like he's just a myth. Cloud. I don't even think Cloud even really
like this guy keep blovating over this game, man. Look, I am so sick of this game being talked about already.
Cool. That's cool. Then you mute your mic.
No, I'm not gonna mute my mic. I'm not gonna sit here and let you talk about how fantastic
this is my segment. This is my segment.
Well, here I am dancing in your segment. Here we go. So we ain't gonna keep going on about the game that you love so much, and it won the conference. No, it is hot trash. I saw it, and I'm gonna tell you this. The reason why it's hot trash is this, right? The fact that they told you they about to nickel and dime y'all, and y'all just like, yo, I'm lined up for that, and then you just said, yo, they might do 2 years increments. At what point in time is this acceptable? At what point in time is this? You know what? Why don't you take your whole game, throw it in the bushes, and come to me when it's finished? How about that? How about you come to me when it's done? Oh, you got the engine ready? Your engine is smoking? Good. So smoke that engine up, get that game out, and stop nickeling. Yo, Rand just told you the whole beginning, ending, and middle of the goddamn game. How come they can't have the game done? We already know what the outcome is. So what are you going to do? You're going to jazz it up? So jazz it up already. Put the little sprinkles on the top of it. Get the game out and give us the same exact game that you played that you want to play again. That's it, man. I'm tired of and the conference was hot garbage. Why can't this
man be excited about Final Fantasy?
You know what? They didn't need a conference. They could have put out a vignette. They could have They could have actually been on.
Microsoft didn't need a conference, but I didn't hear you say.
I understand that you salty. They needed a conference. They were there.
They showed more Final Fantasy VII gameplay than all of the conference. They had.
Microsoft. That's the only thing they had. They bet their dollar on you.
So at least they used what they had.
That's right. Listen, I ain't gonna front. When we get to the Microsoft segment, I'm gonna be lit. If you think I'm gonna back down from you or anybody else in this area, that's not gonna happen. But what I'm gonna tell you this though, when you can only afford 4 squares on your show, all right, and 4 squares, and everybody got to stand on a square, I'm tired of your show. And what was up with the bloody Avengers? Like, what was up with that squad? Why did they? Yo, listen.
Here we go.
Listen, you gonna stop sitting here holding Square ain't been Square for a minute. You understand? You looking at an old faded champ that's trying to get that old step back. Your boy is done. I saw his wobbly knees. He wasn't good at all. Everything that he showed you exactly what you wanted to see.
These are the same people that hype up stuff like Shenmue 3.
Okay, so then again, they showed you the same trailer last year. Now they gave you a little bit of gameplay, right? They went too long into, you know what, in this phase right here, where
what do you mean down. What do you mean? Okay, first off, you fraud. They didn't show nothing on 7 last year.
Yo, listen. I'm talking about on what year was that? They showed that was 2 years ago. I fell asleep for 2 years. Oh my God.
Well, it's not my fault. You're not even noticing what's going on. You do a podcast. You don't even know.
Wait, I know you ain't talking. You don't know half the stuff that go on every day. So we're gonna get into that part.
So
you want to do that part?
Explain what I don't know.
You know why? Because I played that game 20 years ago when it came out.
We gotta focus. We gotta refocus.
No, because I played the game 20 years ago when it came out. I want new stuff.
All right.
Why don't you give me a new game?
So that's why you buy the arcade sticks and all that stuff. Because you want new stuff, right? I got you.
Oh, you want me to pull out that fraud alert on you? Because I told you challenge me on that game. Where was you at?
I don't play head-to-head fighters.
I don't back that like that.
Have I ever said I play those games? Have I ever said I play those games?
People, the king, since you interrupted, Kitty didn't like it. What was your ranking so we can get you out of here real quick?
For me, an F.
So Square was
out of here. Get him out of here.
So Square was the worst conference.
They wasn't the worst. They're in a tie with Bethesda. Both of them in the bushes.
So F we got from K. Attic, finish your thing. I know you've been going on with Final Fantasy.
I'm gonna give it a B+ just because of this dude.
Overall, I know you talked about Final Fantasy, but overall, your ranking of the conference as a whole, like
B+.
B+. All right. So you use
B+. King literally gave them a curve, a B+.
Okay, Jez, I think I skipped you. Did you watch? I know you didn't tell me. Did you watch?
No, I caught the Final Fantasy 7 stuff after the fact.
Okay.
But I wasn't really interested in anything else. I don't like the Avengers. I think Marvel's so overrated.
Oh!
I just upset half the internet, but I don't even care. It's like the Thanos snap.
Oh, Red.
But
your podcast partner.
Yeah.
But it's MCU. We can't have this. I get you.
I'm gonna be searching for a new co-host.
I don't know. I like Final Fantasy 8 is cool too. You know, is that pretty much all they showed? Avengers, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 7?
A lot of JRPGs, a lot of Final Fantasy.
I mean, it was basically also the PlayStation show.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
A lot of stuff that was not coming to Xbox.
Rip.
Yeah.
Piece. But you know, I like Final Fantasy 8. I was curious if they're remaking that to remove the pop song that has the licensing issue or something.
Well,
and I just thought, you know what, if we're extracting that part from the game, we might as well just remake the whole thing or something.
What probably was because they got tired of hearing that hashtag "you cowards." Like that was lit. Every time that game come up even remotely, it would trend "you cowards," and that's from Final Fantasy VIII.
No doubt. So Jez, from what you've seen, I know it's limited, but if you had to rank what you saw, what would you give it?
I'd probably give it a C. I'm not really.
In the chat, I saw something interesting. Where is it again? But it was like maybe we should rate the shows based off of out of 10 Tim Dog naps.
Oh, I'm not gonna let you go at him, man. I'm gonna tell you why. Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you exactly why his eyes was a little droopy. I'm gonna tell you why his eyes were droopy.
Get to Microsoft. That's the main event. So we got that from Jez. Lord Soft, I need you to finish this up. What do you got, man, for Square in your?
I gave him a D, man. The only thing I really cared about there was the Final Fantasy. It looked good. I'm glad they finally gave us some gameplay. I want to see how old school fans react, because again, it's now the combat is a lot more action oriented. I know they did things to sort of alleviate that a little bit with the slow motion, where you can actually pick and choose your moves and who you're attacking to sort of make it feel like it's more turn based. So we'll see how that turns out, but it looks pretty. Avengers was disappointing to me, and then it was. The thing is that what they showed was in contradiction to what they said the game was. They said it was more open world and everything looked very linear. And then if you see, did anybody see that at over the shoulder, off camera leaked gameplay that somebody? Okay, so I saw that. It was very bad quality, but what you were able to see was a scenario where all the Avengers are together and basically you could swap out back and forth depending on the situation. So they went from Hulk, they went from Thor. They each had their little area that they did. But what it felt like it was very linear. Like each section pertains specifically to a certain Avenger's strengths, and then you swapped out to another Avenger. But it felt
cooperative. Like it was just
it wasn't co-op. It was just you swapping back and forth. And they said it that the story campaign is not co-op. It's just you, and you can swap out between Avengers. But it felt like every aspect of each scenario was geared to a specific Avenger and their strength. So it felt very linear, very guided. It looked kind of pretty from what I could tell. It seemed like it moved well. Hulk looked good. But I don't know if that's the game that people want. Not in the way that people reacted to Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know.
Good on that game. I was good on that game.
So I don't know. So I gave him a D because honestly, Final Fantasy was the only thing I liked. Like you, there was too many pointy-haired haircuts and
too many blue-haired gentlemen
for my taste.
Yo, wrap it up, man. So I'm kind of similar. I gave a C-. Look, Final Fantasy VII Remake is what I was here for initially, and they definitely knocked it out the park. I'm with Addict on that. Super hype. I liked what I saw. Yeah, they're gonna stretch it out most likely. Yes, King is right. Yes, we know it's the finesse, but when you know how it is, when it's something you love, you allow the finesse to go down. So King is right with the fraudery on that part. But I thought it looked good. As far as everything else, it was to me. It was a love letter to JRPG fans. If you're a JRPG fan, shout out to Stealth, 40K, and them guys. You love this show. Shout out to B Money. Like you guys were in heaven because it's the show for you in reference to that. But for me, I was holding on to Avengers. So when they saved it to the very end, and then I saw what I saw, and graphically with that engine, I'm like, damn, we waited so long. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, and again, shout out to my man, Uncle Don, Wicked Gaming, good gaming. It's just like it literally felt like stunt double guys. Like it didn't feel like it really feel like it got a bunch of people together to do a party for someone's children on how the Avengers are supposed to look.
You didn't like them not looking like them.
Yeah, and again, there's some banter on Twitter. I was going back and forth. Look, I don't care about, like, to me, it's like I understand with the voice and stuff like that. They don't have to mimic exactly how they sound in the MCU, cinematic. But my thing is, like, I look at Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. And those voices are fantastic to me. To me, they represent the essence of the character. Like at some point, like if I'm watching Transformers, you could have your own rendition, but Optimus Prime has to have some type of an archetype of his voice, right? It has to be something that's true to the character. And to me, some of this was off. And this is an all-star cast. So
I think they were stupid for not trying to make them sound like the MCU just because, like, I get it, but at the end of the day, the people you're trying to sell this to have been watching the MCU for like the past 15 years. Like,
the problem is if you're going to go with your own direction, then don't mimic the look of the MCU characters. They're mimicking the look of the MCU characters, not the comics. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't sound like it, so it's going to seem more jarring. And that engine, I just wasn't there. So for me, C-, it is what it is. But we are going to move on. Bethesda, they are up next. Who did not watch Bethesda's conference?
Everyone watched this conference. This sucks because like when the conference was on, I was working and like other people. So like on the team, like one person was in charge of this show, one person was in charge of another show. I was in charge of the Xbox show. So basically, I tuned everything out while I worked on the Xbox stuff, and I missed that. People didn't seem to like it that much.
It's very
most of the interviews I saw, most of the interviews I saw post E3 with Todd Howard were mostly just like, "What do you guys suck now?"
Wow.
And him defending himself and Fallout 76 and stuff like that. So I don't know. Basically, what I heard was Doom, Eternal Good, everything else, meh.
All right. So that's what
I don't know though. I don't know. I need to check.
No,
it out. I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
Absolutely. Let's start with Lord Rand, Lord of Bethesda himself.
Cognito, my brother. I thought Bethesda's was slightly better than Square Enix's. Doom Eternal looks amazing. Slightly, and I mean slightly as in like a C to a C plus, right?
Adding the
Doom Eternal looks great.
Yes.
Can't wait to play it November 22nd. They had like that kind of gameplay montage towards the end, which really sold it. I will give them credit for busting out new IPs.
Yes.
They had two of them.
Yep.
One from Shinji Mikami, the creator of Evil Within. I forget the name of it.
Ghostwire
Tokyo.
Yeah, that looks cool. And then
you said
the other one,
Deathloop.
Deathloop. However,
you said that Ghost game looked cool.
I mean, here's the thing.
Oh, the concept.
The concept.
Oh, okay.
Because it was all just CGI trailers. Right. So I appreciate new IP. However, it's tough to really get truly excited over CGI concept trailer.
True. It was a new IP that they own, right? Like that's it.
That's it.
Okay. I like my conference to showcase the new IPs.
I feel that.
So that's why they get the plus. They get the plus because they actually came up with some new IPs, even though we have no idea when they're coming out or what they'll actually play like. I'm assuming they're next gen titles.
Yes.
What else we got? Fallout 76. Who gives a shit about Fallout 76?
I care about Fallout 76.
Language, sir. Language.
Sorry. I'll keep it. You're allowed one swear word on YouTube. That'll be the one.
He saved it for Bethesda.
I love how he saved it for Bethesda.
I mean, I don't get a swear word now.
Yeah, all right, you still have one on Pocket Chat.
What else?
I get a swear word a podcast?
No, you're part of it. Yours up a long time ago.
Exactly. Those are guest privileges. You don't get that.
Those are guest privileges.
I'm not feeling this, man. We got to renegotiate these contracts now.
What is it? Fallout 76 Battle Royale mode. Interesting. Okay, but still, I don't know. Honestly, it felt like this E3 was just like an afterthought for most of these companies. And
for everyone, right?
For everybody. Now you understand why EA is like, yeah, or Activision's like, we're not showing up. And Sony's like, see you in 2020, fools. Right? Yeah, so better than Square because the new IPs, but the new IPs were just CGI trailers. That's kind of my take on them.
Fair enough. Lord Addict, I'm very curious about your Bethesda because were we together on that one? I can't remember you. I feel like you went with me. We just got split up.
Yeah, me and Sovereign left when you were drinking. So
free liquor and activity.
I was next to Cognito and Lord Ghost.
Yes.
I was with Ant
and Bone Slave.
No doubt. So, Addict, what you feel? Bethesda conference impressions and rankings, sir.
The only thing that looked interesting was the time loop game that is making.
Yeah,
I give the conference a D.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't fill in.
Nothing stood out for you. Nothing stood out for you.
The Fallout 76 thing. Here's a Band-Aid. That's all I heard about that.
Oh wow.
The Evil Within thing. I didn't really like the other ones, but okay, here you go. I'm gonna do that for them.
No, fair enough.
And they put a battle royale in Fallout 76, so I guess that was cool. But at least they're doing it some kind of unique way.
I felt so too.
But it's got to get a D.
All right, no doubt. Lord Sovereign sitting right next to me during the Bethesda conference, sleeping in the beginning before it started, but we can get into that.
It was a long day.
Okay, long day. Lord Ghost was talking.
Standing under the damn sun baking, but we
have to back. So what do you think, man? Impressions and rankings.
Man, you guys being hard. I gave it a B-.
Let's go.
All right, let's start from the beginning. Right? What I did not like is the sort of fake mea culpa. This whole we're all about you. We're here for you. The community is the greatest.
I just don't get how you guys think that's a fake persona. They've always been their fans friendly for years.
You know what? But when you come out and say it like that, when you make
that's just Bethesda. That's how they do things.
It felt forced considering how people felt about Fallout, how people felt about the Elder Scrolls Blades. Those two games kind of really, when you take two of their most well-known franchises and you put out games that they sort of stumble, you get people gonna be in their feelings about it, right? So I get that, but I would have preferred, and I told Cognito this, I would prefer, Todd come out on stage and look, shut the lights, shut the music. I gotta talk to my people for a minute. Look, we messed up. Here we go. This is how we're gonna fix it. And I think they did that. When it comes to, I don't care about Fallout 76, but they came out and did everything that should have been there in the beginning, and they added it to the game, right, for free. I gotta give them that. I gotta get
free. Free.
And then everything else, like obviously Wolfenstein Youngblood, that's coming out soon. That game looks great. Elder Scrolls Online, I don't play, but they keep adding to that game. That game
go in the bushes too.
Better and better. And then the two IPs that we always saw was CG trailers. But the fact of the matter is, Ghostwire is a Shinji Mikami game. I have full faith in Shinji Mikami.
Bushes.
Deathloop. Dude, Deathloop is arcane. Have you never played Dishonored? I've never played it, but you'd rather play Final Fantasy VII for the umpteenth time.
Yeah,
First off, you fraud. I opened up my Bethesda call was saying that I liked that game. Did I not, Cognito? That was the opening statement I said. I like that game from Dishonored.
Well-known developers. They have not dropped the ball. They have not dropped the ball. So why would people not be excited for Ghostwire and Deathloop is beyond me. And then Doom just blew the rails off everything.
Look, man, all I know is that Ghostwire looked like a Death Stranding 2.0. Okay? Like, no.
You wouldn't even have that. You wouldn't even have that point of comparison if there was no Death Stranding. So you act like, so they bit off
Death Stranding, though.
Why would they? Okay, so you're saying that they bit off of Kojima now?
No one said that.
Somehow they snuck into Kojima Studios and bit off of Kojima.
Why
That's
do you keep putting words in
you made the comparison.
No one made the comparison. I said on a confusion rate, that's what it felt like.
That was not nearly as confusing.
So explain it. Okay, explain to me what that trailer was about.
We gotta pay the bill. Shout out to Dizzy81. The problem for Bethesda is that they don't talk a lot of stuff until QuakeCon.
True.
Until then, about the next Elder Scrolls title, or no one cares. Shout out to Dizzy with the super chat. Continue your whatever you guys are doing.
And that's the issue, right? Like if they're not talking about Elder Scrolls, if they're not talking about Fallout, everybody's like, oh, it's a wrap. It's full.
Explain to me what that trailer was about.
Oh my god.
It's about people. It's about something that's like the rapture. Like exactly. People's souls being taken from them and dropping dead in the middle of the street.
Shout out to Dizzy with the $2 super chat. Here, Addict, go get a Snickers for $2.
Thank you. You're not yourself when you don't have a Snickers.
This fraud come at me. Oh, did you play Dishonored when I opened my statement? That's the only game I enjoyed for the conference.
Okay. You didn't see anything. Just like the other stuff, you didn't see anything. You didn't see, just like the other stuff, you didn't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched all of that. I probably played more Bethesda games than you have.
So because Ghostwire has a passing resemblance in your eyes to Death Stranding, it's in the bushes.
So your ranking,
oh my god,
your ranking was just so we
I gave them a B-.
Okay, Lord King, we got to move on. What do you feel, sir, about Bethesda? You felt very strongly in passing during conversations in the compound. What did you feel about Bethesda's show and ranking? He's in the bushes.
Oh, we lost everybody. Hold on.
No, we here. We good. And Rand Jazz is live. We still here.
Yeah.
King's in the bushes. Oh yeah, hold on. King dropped. So when we get King back, he can only get out the bush. He was so disgusted with that.
Why do people keep going into the bushes? What's the party in the bushes?
Everyone's in the bushes right now. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. Look, I'll jump in on that. I'm with Soft, man. Call me crazy, but I like that conference. Like. Yep. I was talking with Ant. Shout out to Ant the Ruler. Shout out to Bone. And while the conference is going on, I'm literally saying to myself, like, this is how you showcase your own IPs. Like, I love the way they showcased it. And then as far as look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest Todd Howard fan.
Let me pay the bills real quick, Cog. Shout out to Death Singer. Super chat. Salute Lords, no ESO slander. Been playing since 2014. You go, Death. You do.
Go ahead, Death, no doubt. Yeah, ESO, they support the game. But back on my Todd Howard, like, I'm not the biggest fan, a little snarky. I kind of wanted more of a mea culpa based on how Fallout 76 kind of launched. Sorry, Jazz, I know you liked it. But I will say this. I am not a Fallout 76 fan. But what they showed made me interested, and it was free, and the Battle World stuff. It was the mea culpa conference on that part. I get it, but as far as like my favorite, I know Addict don't like concept stuff, but I like what Ghostwire Tokyo was talking about. Aesthetically, it looked fire. You know what I'm saying? It had some anime tropes and Thanos snap tropes, and you know what I'm saying, ninjas. It looked fire to me. Then that other game, was it Deadlock? With the
Deathloop
or whatever, like that joint with the two
assassins, that was crazy.
It looked like an interesting concept. I want to see what's about, and then I'm not the biggest Doom fan, but Doom Eternal looked crazy. It looked really strong to me. I like what they was doing. And the last thing I want to say is, again, when it comes down to presentation, shout out to the Orion streaming tech they had.
That's right.
They brought it on stage. They showed you.
There's actually a lot of fraud thing going on with that. Someone did they kind of froze frame to frame.
Yeah.
And the inputs wasn't what she was putting.
Listen, all I'm saying is, regardless if the tech, whatever the tech is, what it is, you're at a conference. You want things to be shown. So I like that they had the conference to at least put it out there. They had the camera guy over it. They're talking about Orion. It's supposed to be something that's going to help all streaming services. So Stadia and xCloud. I'm excited to see the tech. Spoke to a couple of people behind the scenes, and they are working with Bethesda on this breakthrough. So if that could even improve streaming even more, I'm excited about that. Did they have some filler? Yes. Were they the Commander King theme song was getting on my nerves? We ain't gonna get into that, but that was Commander King. That was like too much for me. But as far overall, I like this show, man. It's crazy. And I'm not the biggest Bethesda guy like that, but I gave it a B. That's me. King is back to rain on my parade. King, what was your impressions and ranking of Bethesda?
All right. I'm gonna go with my impressions first.
Yes.
Right, because my impressions and my ranking differ greatly. Like I have split personalities on this. Now overall, you know, when I gotta preface this as this. When I got there, I was given the royal treatment. You know, you got the drinks. And
was the king compromise?
Yeah, they knew I was going there with the quinine. My eye was out there because I don't
That's
believe
why they got you drunk before it.
Yeah,
they had an open bar before the conference.
Yes, it was kind of nice.
And you got to understand, like,
speak for itself.
when you go into these places and you know they give you the drinks and they get you ready, Bethesda knows how to give you a show. Yes. Right, they know the whole pomp and circumstances. I believe Bethesda is more California than all of these conferences. Right, so they know how to do open outside, give that air. They know how to give you the food. Now, notice all the stuff I'm talking about has absolutely nothing to do with games, right? Okay, so now that they lathered you up and they juiced you up and they slide you inside the conference, yo, I'm not gonna front. They hall is beautiful. Yes. So you walk in, you get your video on, and you're sitting there. We sat there a little bit too long, be honest with you. I'm used to them having popcorn under the seats and all that great stuff. Right. Wasn't no popcorn this year because I heard they went out with the food afterwards, right? But at this point in time, remember, I'm already coming from Microsoft, so I'm already tight, all right? Yes. Because this has been a long day. Yes. All right, correct. So the show starts and they come out with their mea culpa of what went wrong. I do appreciate any company that took your hard-earned money and decided not to bail on your game and dug in deeper. You know,
what was that? What was that?
Yeah, Anthem. Tell them about it. Ooh. Tell them about it. That game looked like it's bailed on. It is dead, right?
They low-key pulled a Ubisoft.
You got to look at For Honor. Remember, For Honor was in the bushes, and they brought that game back all the way to this whole new DLC. And I was like, "Yo, is this DLC? Is a new game?" He's like, "No, it's all." I was like, "Wow!" So for this company to continually give you their best foot forward, yeah, they might make some missteps. What company doesn't, you know? But they give you their best foot forward. That Wolfenstein. That I was all about that. I'm about their presentation. I'm about all of that stuff. I'm not about all those cell phone games that they were showing. I'm not about the CGI stuff that wasn't there, but they have to fill a show. Now this goes into my whole who really needs a show? You don't, sir. You don't need a show. Maybe you can teach other people how to do a show. Maybe you can do that, but you are not that important enough to do a show. Now, as far as that Doom go, everybody's, this Doom is fantastic. I go play Doom right now, and Game Pass look the same exact way.
Stop.
Listen, say what you don't play Doom. No, whoa. Go pull up my numbers. Go pull up my numbers. I do so play Doom. So I don't think you play Doom.
It ain't the same as Doom Eternal.
But listen. I touch Doom Eternal. I like Doom Eternal, and I like Doom. When it comes out, I'm gonna get it. That's what's gonna happen. But Was it some drastic? This is no, it's not. Okay, all right. It's Doom Eternal, whatever. For those diehards, because he's frauding you right now. But
I like that new one.
But it's upstairs in Game Pass. Go play. But Doom is Doom. All right, and that was the backbone of their show, to be honest with you. And I think on that note, they were way better than Square Enix. I don't even know why Square Enix even showed up. But they should get a C minus. I'm gonna give them a D.
Okay.
The reason why I just don't want them there. I don't want to encourage. You don't want to encourage something that shouldn't be happening, right? You understand?
Everybody's E3 for your personal dislike.
No, you know what? Thank God they was
because you didn't like it.
Thank God they were there because certain people that took your money didn't show up at all. So thank God they were there to fill up a gap in the day.
So you saying, what if they had the next Elder Scrolls?
I co-sign that.
What if they had that? Would that warrant the conference or no? Not in your
No.
Wow.
They're developer. They're developer. No. Hardware manufacturer.
I'm of the opinion that Elder Scrolls alone deserves its own conference. Give me an hour-long conference of Elder Scrolls.
You know what? Take Elder Scrolls and put it on Sony's conference. Or take Elder Scrolls and put it on Nintendo's conference.
Bethesda's a publisher, right?
Or Microsoft. Listen, are they? Well, you're gonna say the Vive? Did you buy it?
Mm-hmm. No, they're a publisher.
Yeah, I'm talking about a developer. I'm talking about a manufacturer of hardware. Those guys need conferences. That's what I want to see.
So basically, the public, you don't want publishers.
No, you don't want. I'm gonna always be consistent with this. I do not want to see you unless you're making hardware.
That's your stance. You've been consistent. I give you that. I don't agree, but you have been consistent. I have to give you that. We got to
co-sign that.
We got to move on because we got.
But I respect it.
Thank you, sir.
Been consistent, even though I don't agree, but I got to respect.
Thank you, sir.
No doubt. Moving on, flying through Ubisoft. Who didn't see it? Everyone saw it.
Can I wish I
didn't see it? Sorry. Lord I know.
Lord Cognito.
Yeah. Yes, Red.
Ubisoft's.
Let's go mobile game. Let's get it.
I'd probably give it a C+.
Yeah.
They started out strong. I would no interest in Watch Dogs Legion. Absolutely none. Not because I don't like Watch Dogs. I do. But I was just like, yeah, I don't know if I want to play another Watch Dogs. I played 2 of them, whatever. And they showed off the trailer. And then there's like, he's permadeath and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then they did the unthinkable at a show. They showed a 10-minute gameplay demo. Oh my God.
I might be completely oblivious, but I think that was a shot too.
And I was sold on Watch Dogs Legion from the gameplay demo. Imagine that.
Like, so everything they were talking about sells games.
There you go.
Everything that they were talking about, like, was just presented well in that demo. It got me excited to try it out or play it in March of next year. And then after the demo, they did a trailer, and the trailer was just bad. And I'm like, man, thank God they did the demo because I wouldn't have cared. And then the rest of the conference was just Rainbow Six Siege, Rainbow Six Quarantine with the CGI trailer. Come on. What else? What else did they even have there?
There was that awesome mobile game with your boy Sam Fisher.
Oh yeah. The Rainbow mobile, the mobile game. I think they had For Honor come out again. Someone help me. What else did Ubisoft even show?
What's that rollerblade thing?
We not
Recon, Gods and Rollers.
We ain't gonna not respect the Just Dance show.
Dance, Ghost Recon Breakpoint with John Berthenol in the CGI trailer.
Yeah.
Did they show Roller Champions?
They did, but they just showed CGI stuff.
I actually played it.
Regarding Roller Champions.
How was the Roller Champions? Was good.
It's still, I mean, it's obviously very early, but I mean, it seems fun because it's like one of those things like you grab the ball and you got to go around a certain number of times to be able to score. And depending on how many times you can get around without getting knocked over, getting the ball stolen, is the amount of points you get. So from what I saw, like there isn't too much in the way of animations when you're knocking someone over, sort of just running somebody over. I think if they had decided to go more over the top with it, like the NBA Jam of rollerblading games, it might be more interesting to me, but right now it works. That's just it works.
128 y'all in the chat. Please hit that like button. Really, really appreciate it. Continue.
Hit the like button. Let's go. Hit that like button. Smash it. What Division 2 update? I know Jez likes Division 2. Whatever. And that TV show from the It's Always Sunny people, which was so unfunny. It was so cringy, and I'm a big fan of It's Always Sunny. So yeah, I give him a C+ for the demo because, man, like demos are in short supply these days at E3.
Oh boy,
my God, you're so salty.
I can see why you showed up today, sir.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you, baby. I'm gonna get you.
Hey, man, I don't just say that. Hey, I need gameplay at my. We'll talk about that.
Hey, listen, I got body bags. You gonna fit me one in a second? I got you.
Excuse me.
I'm coming for you. You know what's gonna happen.
Okay, we're coming for you, King. Ain't gonna hold back.
Listen. I want you.
You ain't gonna be able to batter Attic in the corner until he stops talking.
I love this.
It's not battering addicts to a quarter. It's
when
being
your idols
being in a podcast
rivals.
with this dude for a long amount of time, realizing that I don't have the voice to continue arguing with this man.
Listen, this is when your idols become your rivals. You're going down, Jez.
Oh my God, leave Jez alone.
You know why? Because Jez know he gonna jump in on the backside of it. Because Jez was right there. Trust me, I know what Jez. I saw his face, so I know what he's gonna do.
To get through. We're almost there. All right,
I gotta go in 30 minutes.
I know we're gonna fly through. So that, again, just to confirm, was a C. What was it? Rand? I'm sorry. You're
C+.
All right, Attic. Let's fly through. Come on,
Ubisoft C.
Okay, C. All right.
No, I'm gonna give it a D.
All right, D. Wow, no standout for you.
Nope.
Okay, Lord Saw impressions ranking.
C-. I like Watch Dogs. Breakpoint. What I've seen of it before look really good. But they do get they get a fold from me on what they did to me and Lord MJ outside.
Lord MJ, how they sequestered you into the overflow.
They sequestered us into the overflow room when they messed up and thought they had no more seating when they actually had plenty of seating. So please, next year, let's get that worked out.
Salute the Lord MJ being a real one on that. That's what's up. But so your ranking was, you said C.
Yeah, I give him a C-.
All right, Lord King, really quickly, Ubisoft, what was your impression and your ranking?
I thought they had good games there, but again, I don't feel that they deserve a conference. So
yeah,
it's just they're always gonna get a D from me. Pause. But I must say that a couple of their games did pique my interest, and like I said, I love companies that sit there and fight for their games that definitely didn't start off on the best feet.
Yeah.
So when you actually can show that you're gonna make sure that a game stays through, when they respect your dollar, that comes very few and far between with these companies. A lot of times they're on to the next one. So if you see your favorite game still being represented through all these conferences from initial release, and they still have something going through, even if it's a little tidbit. I know a lot of you guys don't like to see Sea of Thieves every Microsoft conference, but the fact that they took your money and they continue to give you content on your games, I'm just saying.
You support your games and service.
Yeah, that's right. But they get a D from me, Paul.
No doubt. Real quick. Yeah, man. I give it a C. Watch Dogs Legion, like Rand said, super strong. Wasn't that hype for Watch Dogs coming in. Actually was sad that it got leaked, but then when I saw it, shout out to Granny, the 70-year-old Granny getting busy.
Oh, no doubt.
Knocking people down. That got me hype. I go front. Unlike I actually like the Quarantine. I mean, it's a graphical slice or whatever, but I like the concept of Quarantine PvE, just which was 1 and 3 players. Breakpoint, I'm a Bernthal fanboy. I love his inclusion in it. They need to show gameplay though. That's really it. After that, it was straight filler. Dance is in the bushes. I mean, shout out to Piscatella. I know he said that thing sells like hotcakes. That's why they're going to continue to support it. It's just you don't need to bust out a full concert on my conference. I wasn't about that. Sam Fisher on mobile, I felt for Rand so bad.
That's horrible.
That hurt my heart.
I was laughing so hard.
Jess, you're evil. I saw your tweets. You were like, "Are you excited?"
That hurt my heart.
He's just relegated to nonsense. And Ubisoft is trolling. And me and Saul, we did a piece outside on LordsGaming.net right after the conference, and we were just like, they just feel the disrespect the Splinter Cell fan base. I don't know. Mythic Quest, who tells what the hell that was about? So see, for me, we're gonna move on. Nintendo and Microsoft, the main event. Let's get to it. Nintendo is up. Lord Jez, did you see it?
So I didn't see the direct itself, but I like Nintendo, so I've looked into it quite a bit. It's interesting because I saw that I'm a big Pokemon fan. Sorry, everyone. I saw the Pokemon gameplay trailer, and I was like, oh my god, this looks amazing, blah blah blah. But then it was the details that came out afterwards that have got the Pokemon community up in flames right now.
Really, what happened?
Well, if you look on like any of the big Pokemon community websites, like the subreddits, even Japanese forums and stuff, everyone's angry because Game Freak has basically said that they're only going to bring forward a select amount of Pokemon, and you won't be able to transfer Pokemon from the Pokemon Bank. So there's only going to be a few dozen Pokemon. Mega Evolutions are gone. Z moves are gone. So, and they've done this to try and balance the game for competitive play.
I wish I could see Rand's face right now when you talk about Pokemon. Continue.
But people are mad.
Wow.
People are mad. Because I mean, go and look at the dislike ratio. There's like 35,000 dislikes on the YouTube.
Wow. I didn't know that. Addict, you didn't put me onto this. Is that true? I mean, I believe it's true, but I'm just saying that I didn't know it was this serious. Wow. Continue, Jeff.
So people are mad. Like, look at the hashtag, like, bring back the national decks on Twitter. So people are mad about that. And because like they say the new Pokemon's set in Britain. It's like inspired by Britain. They're calling it Dexit. Like
Dexit, nice.
Yeah,
nice. Shout out to Watch for Season. I forgot to say Liverpool Piccadilly Circle looks kind of nice in there. I was meaning to say that, but continue because we're talking about UK stuff. Continue, Jess.
Yeah. Other than that, we had like Banjo and Smash, which I didn't believe.
Blew the roof down.
Like Rand was saying for months that he was hearing Banjo's coming to Smash, and I was just like, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. But I was like, I didn't have information. I was just sort of going off my gut instinct because when I've been to Rare a couple of times since people started asking about Banjo and Smash, and each time I've been to Rare, I've asked them, so when are we getting Banjo and Smash? And they just gave me such an amazing poker face. And I was just like, man, Banjo ain't coming. Like I just kind of felt like Microsoft wanted to leave the IP dead. And if they added Banjo to Smash, that would just increase the noise of people asking for new games and stuff. But they did it. So we got Banjo and Smash now. So maybe that means we'll have more Banjo games in the future. I don't know. And other than that, they had loads of other cool stuff like, Link's Awakening, got a closer look at that, and, which looks awesome. Animal Crossing also looks awesome. They've just got a lot of good stuff coming, and
this year, a lot of stuff.
This year too. Show gameplay as well. So I give Nintendo like a B+ or maybe even an A.
Okay.
I think they killed it. Man.
Oh my.
Oh, Red, look at Red.
Oh my!
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'd probably give them a B. I don't care about Nintendo.
I know.
Right? I do not care about Nintendo, but they know how to speak to their fans. A bunch of games, coming out this year. Yeah, like, hey, Animal Crossing, we're delayed to 2020. They give you their good reason why.
Point, Red.
And then, of course, it's like they have the Banjo reveal, which I'd known about, I don't know, like 6 months ago. Jez kept on doubting me on that one, but I'm like, no, Jez, it's coming.
You didn't tell me you definitely knew.
I mean, I told you I was told that it was coming.
I want to see documents.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't get documents. I don't get that stuff. But anyways, and then the end with Zelda, Breath of the Wild sequel, which is and Nintendo's just great at that, right? Like everybody knows they're obviously going to be making a new Zelda, but like Nintendo's like, all right, it's in production. Here's a 30-second trailer. See in 4 years for 3 years. And I'm like, man, and then like the fan base gets so excited because now they know for sure Zelda's coming, and there's this excitement.
That feeling is, Rand, right? When you get the fan base excited about stuff.
Yeah, when you get the fan base super pumped, and I'm just like, ooh, you know, like
lather them up.
Shut up, King.
It's like sometimes I wish Microsoft would just take a page out of that book. Sometimes.
He's going early.
You know?
Yeah. So your ranking was what overall?
I give him it probably would be higher if I gave a crap about Nintendo, but I give him a B. I think it was probably the strongest showing out of anybody at E3.
Don't forget, Ron, you're still playing.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
yeah, you still want me to play Pokemon? I don't know about that.
Everyone here
Rand
is unaware.
No,
Rand's gonna play Pokemon Sword and Shield this year, and I'm gonna. And if he does it, I'll donate to charity.
You heard it here first on ILP.
I'm spreading that, and if the more people that know, the more people have to force Rand to do it.
Yes.
Shame him into playing the game.
Lord Addict.
I'm shaming him into playing a game.
If he gets the gamer score, he'll be on it.
Oh my God. Lord Addict, quickly. Nintendo impressions and rating.
They killed it. Hey.
Woo! All right, all the way. Stand out for you? Any stand out?
The whole thing.
Fire.
I didn't really like. They had good pacing. They had good content. Like I really didn't see any issues with their game. Like obviously some of the games I didn't care about, but for every game I didn't care about, literally the next game I cared about. So they killed it. They it's probably the best direct they've had in years.
Let's go, Lord Saul, Switch Brethren in the house. What's going on with your face?
They killed it. I agree with Alex. Why you gotta be? You have to hold that, King. Hold that. They killed it. They did. See,
they did the exact opposite that Xbox did.
Exactly. To King's point, right? The fact that he feels
somebody got a lot of salt in their
juice. Some third-party publishers he feels should not have a conference. Cool, I get that. That said, I think the big three should be held to a higher standard. Nintendo understands that. So I don't care if they tell me about a game that's 5 years out.
But we ain't gonna act like they didn't spend a whole direct last year talking about Smash, though. We ain't gonna act like
that. But
this was their mea culpa. This is their mea culpa because last year I ain't see you waving your banners.
I wasn't there. I was not privy to that couch conversation. I was not there.
You got steam coming out your ears. Look at you like, yeah, they're on point. Where was you last year?
What about?
Where was you last year?
What about this year? Last year's done.
Well, we ain't gonna forget the past because they doing to repeat it. All right, so we're not gonna forget the past. I was on that couch. Matter of fact,
that same quote applies to Xbox, brother. I
can tell you this though. I can tell you this. They ain't stink up the joint like they did last year. Yeah. My soul is still sitting on that.
Why are you talking about last year, sir?
Get out of here.
Lord, solve your rankings, things. We gotta move.
They get an A from me. They get an A.
Lord King.
There we go.
Very opinionated today.
There we go. Shout out to the manufacturer that actually showed up here.
Give it
up. No, I'm gonna tell you right now. From the get-go, you understand Nintendo knew how important this was. Last year they stunk the joint up. I'm talking about the whole California smell like skunks.
Oh my, too much bad.
But I'm gonna give you this. Those dudes came to party. They came to rock. They came out with Bowser. They did the little skit. Yeah, it was nice. I was like, yo, they actually out here, and he's a little bit more personable than Reggie. Reggie had to go. He wasn't down with
I love when you say that in a narrative. I love it.
And I know Reggie's sitting there like with a little salt bag, like, get out of here. I do love every game that came out. Maybe some games wasn't for me, but I'm gonna tell you this: they knew who they was talking to every time they did, and they had a little expanded directs on stuff. They did deep dives on games that people really wanted to see. So to have your big franchises, right, with the Zeldas popping up, Luigi Mansions, these games was highlighted. They showed gameplay. They showed your games in the best possible light they could. Right,
I am a little concerned that Luigi's Mansion didn't have a release date, though.
I'm not too concerned because they look like they was jam packed with games. Like they was jammed. That's what I brought my
yeah, facts. Good point.
You know, they knew this is the time to make their presence felt. Now, their presence at E3 Hall is always felt.
Oh my Lord,
right?
They dominate the floor
At all times. They have probably. That's why Microsoft pulled their stuff out of there. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you came to the hall, you came for Nintendo, and that's exactly how it's always gonna be. But the fact that Sony wasn't there, Nintendo understood they had to double up, right? They had to come and bring their A game, and that's why they get an A+ from me. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, they get an S ranking because it was flawless. I'm not gonna lie. To be in a position that they are and to show out the way they did, and they're giving you a Zelda now, and they say, yo, by the way, that Zelda that you really like, if this really one is not really your joint, we do have that Breath of the Wild 2 down the road coming for you. Check that out, look that over, and that's coming your way. Boom, and dip out. And that's how you do it. You drop that A-bomb on top of somebody's head so they can't say nothing and they walk out. And so it's great.
King, I respect. Shout out to the grounded gamer Lord Fonz being very disrespectful. He said Geralt is going to be looking like a Picasso painting on the Switch. He said that Witcher on Switch is moving like those Rudolph movies from the 60s. Very disrespectful right now. We're going to move on from him. Yo, I'm with you, King. I'm with you, bro. Like they killed it. They killed it. Just a love letter to the base. Exclusive, tremendous exclusive title dropping. Astral Chain, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Mario Party, Dragon's Quest, Pokemon Sword, Zelda Awakening.
Hit after hit.
It's banger after banger. I mean, shout out even the ports. Like, who would have thought Witcher is even able to run on it? We still haven't seen it, but like, what type of sorcery is going on here with this port? Shout out to the dudes at ID and Bethesda using the engine. They got Wolfenstein. I was able to see that behind the scenes and talk with the devs, and like, it's just impressive what they're able to do and how Nintendo was working with them.
You have to give it up to Nintendo for allowing the chip to be used because they're underutilizing the chip on purpose. And as they're trickling out this extra, and there's not even dev kits, they're just allowing them to use more of the power of the chip.
Because what was explained to me, Lord Jezalon Rand, was that, you know, because of their whole concern of the portability aspect, Nintendo would restrict devs on the functionality of unlocking more of the chip. And now they're getting them free reign. So yeah, battery life is going to suffer, but they rather get the performance boost. So just to hear that kind of stuff is refreshing. Nintendo working with these guys like that. I mean, just like Lord Rand said, the only snafu was probably Animal Crossing, and then they got in front of it, right? They said, look, this is not coming out. This is why. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people don't like all the Nintendo games.
Animal Crossing at the show, it looked kind of nice. I mean, I know the fact that it's not coming right now. I mean, yeah.
So it's just like, yo, I gotta give it. Go ahead.
Where is Bayonetta?
I don't know. I'm not gonna sit there and nitpick when they show me like 12 bangers.
Well, I mean, it's not really nitpicking. Like they're showing an IP that they introduced after Bayonetta 3, like, but not Bayonetta 3. I'm starting to think Bayonetta 3 might be in the bushes, man.
Hey, Astral Chain put it in the bushes. Astral Chain put it in the bushes.
No, I talked about Bayonetta 3. I'm really starting to think it might have gotten canceled. Because it's still like I don't understand how you show a game that you announced after you announced Bayonetta 3.
Hold on, I gotta throw a flag on the field. Square Enix show was greater than Nintendo Direct. Flag on the field.
Yeah, leave them alone. You know, a lot of these dudes drinking those eating those cookies and drinking that juice. They really believe in that Final Fantasy. And I gotta say, God bless for those people that holding that flag. But I want you to keep that same energy when they drain your pockets dry. All right, and they're gonna drip dry you for 10 years. Your grandkids gonna play the last ending chapter of that game, and they gonna drip their pockets dry too.
All right, but that's his opinion. I'm just messing with Slow. That's the homie. But now, like Rand said, Nintendo truly understands the nuances to their hardcore base, and them MPD monthlies speaking what they speaking.
Out of everyone that was at the show, you know, I feel like the platform holder, they were the only ones that came
through. So we're gonna get into the main event. And why we are here. A lot of people wanted the Lord's impression. They want Rand's impression. They want Jez's raw impressions. He's back. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into Microsoft, man. And let's get to it. Lord Jez, Lord Rand, whoever wants to start first. What were your impressions?
I say they fight to the death.
Well,
they're about to team up on me. They're leaving it. I told you I'm gonna take Jez out first.
I don't know. What? I don't know, King. Like, I think people are gonna be surprised. Like, I think I'm gonna be ally you with you a little bit on this.
Before we start, shout out to Philly Eagle to follow Super Shout out to the Lord. Just want to say again, I called E3, told you they would show games, not necessarily your games. Love this podcast. Love you too, brother. Thank you so much for the follow, Super Chat. Lord Jez, let's start with you. Microsoft impressions. Let's go.
I'm ready to be the minority on this one, I think, as usual. But I didn't think it was that bad. Everyone else amongst the
okay, King, kill him.
Yo, listen. I was sitting right with him, so I know what he's gonna say. We talked right after. I just allowed a man to get his platform to say exactly how you feel. Tell me, Jez, what you really feel, baby. Let's go.
This is what I really felt. I was a bit disappointed, however, for the same reasons most other people. Like, as soon as it ended, I was like, "Wait, is that it?" Because I felt like we didn't see much meat. I think I tweeted out something like it felt a lot of it was smoke and mirrors. It was kind of like almost like watching a Michael Bay movie where there's action going on and you can't actually see the action. Like I didn't
continue. I love the analogy.
You know, like the early Transformers movies.
I want King to read that.
The cuts are so like the camera angles and the cuts are so rapid and you can't absorb what you're seeing. Like I feel like either they packed too much in or it wasn't long enough. And I think like the Gears segment was a travesty. Like I genuinely think that whole segment was a travesty. Like teasing us with celebrities and that like silly dungeon thing.
Oh, let me read this super chat real quick. I'm gonna read the super chat while showing y'all Phil. Death Singer, thank you for that $5 super chat. Xbox was A+. I went into it telling. Hold on, Phil. Sell me your games, and they wear ILP shirts. We're compromised. That's right. Yeah, that is. That's why I'm compromised. They told me on 10. Shout out to Phil. You did what Sony didn't bring. PSO2 to the West. Fire.
And you know the worst part about that whole Gears fiasco? I'm not a huge Gears fan, but I watched a couple reactions. You know what announcement they did right after Gears? What? The Elite Controller 2. Like you could tell, like when they went out, people was low-key expecting something more on Gears, and then it went into that black screen and showed the next controller, and people like it's like that made it worse. That made it 10 times worse.
Yeah, it was just a mess.
Almost every reaction I heard was like, another controller. I want to see Gears.
I really like seeing that controller because all of my leaks from 2017 on that controller are completely accurate.
Yep.
Internal battery, the dock, we nailed every single aspect of that controller when we leaked it.
Great reporting.
So I like seeing that. But, you know.
He said great leaking.
I was like... But I didn't even remember that the controller came after Gears because I was sitting there dumbfounded at how bad it was, the Gears segment. Because I am a Gears fan. I'm a big Gears fan. And, you know... I've got all the merchandise. I got like a huge bloody replica Lancer that I don't even know where to put it. It's just propped up against the wall, and it's like, can I get it to Germany? Will my girlfriend let me put a bloody machine gun on the wall? I don't think so. But it was just like, where's the campaign gameplay with this close to launch, and you're showing off a side mode, and that you didn't even really show off properly because you said these guys are going to get to play it now, but not you, suckers, and we just
there go your curse. There you go. We go with it.
This sort of choreographed trailer that didn't really tell us what it was. Like after the trailer, I went and played it, and I was like, "Oh, I get it now." Right. But the vast majority of people weren't there to have the privilege of playing it. So I suppose it's good in a way because it falls on me to write content about it, and then Microsoft will be like, you know. Looking to press to relay that experience.
Jez, I said that same exact thing to Cognito, and I'm glad you eloquating this point because I feel that they using a FanFest as a vehicle to get information and content out that they don't want to delve deep into. And
I don't get it though, because Escape was good. It was like I played it and it was fun, you know. And I felt like they could have showed it in a much better light than they did on stage. But you know, beyond the Gears segment, you had like just so much rapid stuff that it was hard to really process everything that we were seeing. Like they should have, whoever storyboarded this show, they should have had segments that slowed everything down a bit, you know, instead of this super fast-paced stuff. There should have been a longer Gears segment. There should have maybe even been a bit of Halo Infinite gameplay, just so we could see what to expect. You know, Cyberpunk had gameplay last year, an hour's worth of gameplay. There is no reason why we couldn't have had Halo Infinite gameplay if it's coming out next year. There's no reason. Cyberpunk's done it.
Isn't that exactly what I said, Cognito?
Yes, you did.
Cyberpunk's going to release even more gameplay in August, so we'll have had 2 hours worth of Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay, 2 years ahead of launch in total, and we've got 0 Halo Infinite gameplay except for this trailer, which did look pretty cool. And I ain't a Halo fan, and just for the record, but I understand like how frustrating it was for this little tease, and I think like if the expectation on Microsoft wasn't as high as it is right now to deliver on the biggest criticism of theirs, which is content, people would have been a little bit more forgiving. But like I feel like they had an opportunity to really respond to all the criticisms of the last couple of years, and they didn't. I don't think they did. And you could argue that maybe they don't need to. Maybe next year they bring the big guns. But how many years now have Xbox fans been saying, let's wait till next year? It's silly.
Let me ask you two questions, Jazz, before I let you go, before I get the rant. You had a tremendous article on Project xCloud. So I want to focus a little bit on this too, in the sense that, did you feel that Project xCloud silenced the haters or the skeptics? And then the second is, obviously, you know, we both have seen Cyberpunk. Just in general, the importance of that game for Microsoft.
Well, first of all, with xCloud, like we've been covering xCloud on Windows Central since 2013, because we leaked an all hands meeting at Microsoft where Microsoft came before the employees and they showed off Halo 4 running on a Lumia phone, and were like streaming from an internal prototype server rack, and they were like, this is the future of what we're going to do. So we've been covering this since 2013, and to finally like get it in our hands. I mean, it's not on a Windows phone, sadly, but you know, we won't talk about that. But to finally get that vision realized is kind of magical, because it actually works. And you know, I've tried on Live, I've tried PlayStation Now. They're both terrible, you know. But I mean, with fairness to xCloud, I haven't tried it on my own home internet yet. And it was streaming to the Microsoft a dedicated Wi-Fi signal in the Microsoft Theater to a data center that's 400 miles away.
400 miles away in San Francisco.
Yeah, and that, you know, that's serious. That's a serious amount of distance. And with that knowledge, like, to be able to hit every active reload in Gears with no issues with the latency, to be able to kill the two hunters in the opening segments of Halo 5, like precision aiming in the back of the Let Go hunters, you know, where all the little orange stuff is, the worms and that. To be able to do that without any issues on a phone streaming is huge, you know. And the difference between that and Stadia, assuming both of them actually do work when it comes out, devs don't have to do any development work to get their games running on xCloud. And
not Linux based like Stadia, right?
No, with Stadia, they have to port it to Linux. They have to add the Google APIs and all that stuff. But with xCloud, because it runs on Xbox consoles, converted into server racks, they don't have to do any work. They don't have to add any APIs. They can add there is a Xbox streaming API now, which they can leverage to change the size of UI elements, because they can be hard to see on a screen, and also add touch controls. There are things to get around that if developers want to use them, but they don't have to use them. They can just literally dump their game on xCloud and it'll just work. And I think like it's incredibly exciting, you know, because it's kind of like the holy grail to get your games no matter where you are, and that's why that's why I think the Switch has been so popular.
Absolutely,
because it fits in around your life. You know,
Yes.
you can be anywhere and play anywhere, and I'm excited for that.
man.
And as for Cyberpunk, we saw the extended press demo, which was longer than the demo they had on the floor. This was like 55 minutes of
a full hour. Oh my god, it was beautiful. Continue.
It was absolutely breathtaking, incredible. Like I mean, I will say, like, there are some slight concerns I have. Like the AI seemed to get stuck as it was transitioning from one move to another. And like they did say that some of that stuff would be polished, which is, you know, and they did hand out like feedback leaflets so people could.
Yes,
you know,
I feel that. I said I just wanted the gunplay to feel a little bit more impactful when I filled out my survey as well. What did you put for your feedback?
Yeah, so I just put like the AI needs tidying up a bit. Like there was this boss fight against like this huge cyborg lady with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, with the thing on her back.
Yeah, and like it was an awesome set piece, but her AI was really dumb.
Yes,
like,
and it didn't react well. I agree.
Like all the AI reactions seem really slow. So that was my only negative feedback. When it comes to like the amount of stuff you can do, the branching dialogue, the decisions and consequences, it feels like old school, man. It feels like we're back to Fallout 3.
Yes.
Where, like you've got tons of dialogue options that are tied to your skills and your backstory. Whereas like
original BioWare too.
Yeah, like it feels like that much attention to the impact of your decisions and stuff like that. And like throughout that short mission, like basically the mission was you basically playing two gangs off against each other on a hunt down for information. And but like even in that mission, there was the option to complete it with completely non-lethal takedowns. You could go in guns blazing and reduce everyone to bloody chunks, like shooting them with a heavy machine gun.
Strong solo when you grab the machine gun like Terminator 2, ripped it off the thing instead of hacking it.
Yeah, you can hack the turret. You can rip the turret out the floor and just carry it around and shoot people with it, or you can like just disable the turret if you want to play completely stealth. And then there was like these like wires that could cut people in half and stuff like that. It was just crazy, like so super satisfyingly violent. Like I mean, I love that kind of stuff, you know. And you know, there's this controversy now where games can't be too violent, but I don't think a game can be too violent.
No, overall. So just wrap it because I know we got a lot. But like
wrapping it up
for the conference, is what you give it overall.
Right, for the conference, I give it a B-.
Okay.
Because while I was disappointed in the lack of CGI, if you actually, I said this to Rand, I think, if you watch the conference in slow motion, it's a lot better. Like you can see what Bleeding Edge is supposed to be. You can see what Minecraft Dungeons is supposed to be. And they did have a lot of great content in there. It was just so poorly explained that it wasn't until after the show and I got on the floor and I played the games for myself. I played Minecraft Dungeons for myself, played Bleeding Edge for myself, and played Gears Escape for myself and all those games. It wasn't until then that I started being more excited about what Xbox had to offer in the future. But most people didn't get that experience. And it's a shame that Microsoft, I mean, it's good for me as press because I get to write about it and get some clicks, you know, but I feel like Microsoft owes it to the fans to try and bring that experience onto the screen. And I don't think they did that. So even though that guy had a lot of good content, I don't think the show was well put together. So I give it a B-.
Now, Lord Rand, we were in the DMs during LA E3. We had a lot to say to each other. I'm dying to hear your opinions. My first time really getting in depth with you. What were your impressions of the Microsoft press conference?
Oh, God, here we go. Look, I hate being negative about really anything. I'd rather be positive about stuff, but honestly, this E3 was probably the worst one I've seen ever. And I really mean ever. Like, there wasn't one. Like, Nintendo was strong, but I don't care about Nintendo, okay? Like, none of their stuff really excites me.
You're talking about it as a whole?
Yeah, like, as a whole, like, every conference was just underwhelming.
Okay.
And the poster child for underwhelming was Microsoft's conference.
Why?
Woo! It was one of the most boring presentations I have ever seen them put on. Like, Oh God! And what Jess said is right. Whoever did the storyboarding and where to put things, and the reliance on quickly cut 2-minute gameplay trailers and CGI trailers, I don't know. Like, I just was not a fan. And I know some people will say, "Well, you got overhyped for it." Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? When Phil got on Twitter and said we have 14 games at the show, I did a video and I was like, here are the 14 games that are going to be there. And I said, you might see two new games.
I was on the same type of time as you with that.
One was Bleeding Edge, and I thought there would be a second one. Well, I was wrong on that. It was just one new game, and it was just Bleeding Edge. So, no, I wasn't overly hyped for this conference. I thought last year's was magnitudes better. Yes. This year was just it's really tough to put into words how disappointing this show was. When like the best part of your show is a cameo from a Hollywood actor.
That's not your game. It's a third-party game.
That is just a third-party game. And then you follow up that high energy moment with 25 minutes of indie gameplay and a talking head coming out to give us a spiel about Game Pass? No! What are you doing? And it's not because I love indie games. I think Spiritfarer looks cool. A lot of those games look really interesting. Yeah. But it's like you missed a moment to transition from Cyberpunk and the emotions and the high that people have to, I don't know, maybe show Gears 5 immediately after and do a gameplay demo. But I forgot. We weren't doing gameplay for Gears 5, even though it comes out in 3 months. We're going to do a stupid CGI trailer. I'm sorry. I will, look, I said it in the Bethesda thing.
Yeah, the song was good, though, right?
The song was horrible. The song was horrible. That was like a 10-year-old remix or an 8-year-old remix or whatever. But here's the thing. I'm not a fan of CGI trailers. If it's your first time announcing a game, I will give you a pass. So Ghostwire game, the Deathloop game from Bethesda. If it's your first time, okay, that's cool. Concept, I get it. But if your game's coming out in 3 months, I don't want to see a CGI trailer, and then I don't want you to be like, hey, you want to see the gameplay that you're here for? Well, go check it on Mixer with these WWE superstars. No, I'm sorry. You get a 0 out of that. That is a failing grade. Failing grade for that presentation. They destroyed all the hype surrounding Gears. And you want to know really why the Gears thing gets to me?
Tell them like that,
my first thought after watching that was they're hiding the single player because they think it's bad. Ooh. And when it's your first thought, when it's someone's first thought to think, why aren't they showing the single player campaign? And your first thought is, hey, it must be really bad if they're not showing it 3 months from launch. That's not a good thought to have. So I absolutely hated the Gears segment. I hated it.
Rand, I literally said that to executives on the floor. Like, it feels like I was like, it's not your fault, but it feels like you're hiding something because like this whole Anthem thing was fresh in my mind. Like the whole Anthem Cataclysm drama where they were like, oh, by the way, this is the Cataclysm in Anthem. They showed off this amazing storm and stuff at E3. And then what we get is actually just some sort of blue filter and a few leaves blown around.
I mean, obviously you could tell I didn't like the show. I'm not going to argue with anybody over it. If somebody else loves the show, great.
You know, like I'm
happy for you.
You gave it a B-, right?
I
He didn't get his rating yet.
I haven't ranked it yet because
sorry.
It was just, dude. There was just so many missed opportunities here. Like the Scarlet reveal. It's like deja vu. I watched this trailer 3 years ago when it was Project Scorpio.
Remix.
And it's like, okay, fine, cool, whatever. I could deal with that. The xCloud info, there was not enough info. Like, after the conference is over, people were talking like xCloud was going to be free. The whole thing was free, but it was like, what is it, just console streaming or the remote play or the xCloud stuff is free? Obviously, it's just the console streaming's free.
I want to jump in on Scarlet. I want to backtrack you 1 second right now. In reference to there's a lot of stuff going on with the Scarlet reveal as far as verbiage. We heard things as our most powerful console. You have a video out right now that kind of talks about that. We didn't hear the dual SKU as far as Lockhart anymore. And I guess want to touch on that part. Did you feel? I mean, what's your gut? I mean, we don't. I know we don't know, but just what's your gut as reference to how they're handling the Scarlet thing? Do you think it's a situation where they may not be as powerful, so they want to be careful, or they just don't know PlayStation what they're going to do, and then change their approach and got rid of Lockhart as well?
I think they probably don't really know, so they can't really come out, because they can't come out and say we're the most powerful, and then Sony ends up being more powerful, because that would be egg on their face.
This is the thing. Like Matt Booty said in an interview today that it is definitively more powerful.
Really?
Like some of the other execs have been like really, like I asked Mikey Barr in our interview, and he was like, being more powerful is important to the team. That's what he basically said, and that's kind of sort of what Phil said too on Giant Bomb. But Matt Booty was like, "Oh yeah, we're the most powerful," blah blah blah. But obviously Matt Booty isn't directly involved with the engineering team, so I don't really take his word as gospel. So when the prevailing rumor was it was going to be sandwiched, the PS5 was going to be sandwiched between Anaconda and Lockhart, but now it looks like Lockhart's been shelved. I don't think it's I don't think you can just assume that the PS5 is going to be less powerful than Anaconda.
See, I'm not still 100% sold on it being shelved. I think, and I said this in my preview video, that I thought they wouldn't mention Lockhart at all, because like what does Lockhart do for you? It's the cheaper price. What can you not talk about a year and a half before launch? The pricing of the system. So it makes no sense to talk about how powerful your system is going to be, and then also, oh, we have this cheaper one. So I felt they weren't going to mention Lockhart at all. Now, there are some interviews floating around from Phil that mention consoles, plural. Like I just watched one earlier. There's a blog post from 343 that talks about their next-gen consoles, plural. So I'm not 100% convinced that Lockhart is officially canned. I think they're just talking about Project Scarlet as it refers to, the Xbox Anaconda.
Right. Hold on one quick second, Rand. Shout out to Philly Eagle to see what you found. The next box, no matter what you're getting, will blow away the one you have now by a ton. If you claim not to be impressed, I dare call you a liar. Okay. Continue. Sorry.
No, so I mean, like, look, I understand people like the show, and I understand people didn't like it. I'm not claiming to speak for anybody else other than myself. I didn't like it. I was disappointed. I told Phil as much. I said I thought it was one of their worst shows, and we had a nice discussion about it.
That's what's up.
And so if you like the show, more power to you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I just felt it was boring. I thought the pacing was screwed up. I didn't think they showed enough. And it's weird to say because they showed 14 Xbox Game Studios games, but I don't care. I mean, like Forza Horizon DLC, like State of Decay DLC, I don't really care for DLCs taking up stage presence. At least Sea of Thieves wasn't there. So that's a plus.
It was in the sizzle reel.
Yeah, so I mean, and I did say that I felt next year is way more important to Microsoft and for everybody. So I was expecting Microsoft to basically hold back, and they did. But then again, of course, that basically means wait for E3 2020, and people have been saying that for years. So my grade for the show is a D.
Oh man, you're supposed to say B minus. But hey.
All right.
You saw me trying to stare you to B minus.
It has to give it. I got added. Let me get added because I know he's got to roll soon. Lord Addict, BU and Sov had a very passionate interview on lordsgaming.net right after the show. So I got to get it from you, man. What's going on? What do you feel? Microsoft, let's get it.
Comes to Microsoft, I actually had to go back and, write down all the stuff that they announced because I did a show when I got home.
Yeah.
Like, look, all right. I think initially I gave it a D, didn't I?
Yeah, you went hard. You went very hard.
I'm going to have to bump that up to a C+. Okay. And the reason I have to do that, I still 100% agree with everything I said.
Mm-hmm.
But
you were tapping me during the show saying, Cog, this is spooky.
But, no, it's still spooky. It's just like I looked at it from a standpoint that conference on paper would have been great.
Okay.
It's just they executed everything about the conference wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, if they would have had more of those indies in a rel, had some Wasteland gameplay, had some more Outer Worlds gameplay, had Gears gameplay. You know, it would have heightened that overall conference. Like, if you think about it, like the conference had almost all the studios, regardless how it was. I agree with Rand. I don't think DLC should be on the biggest stage of the year, but it was there, so we have to accept it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they had all that.
You go from a D to a C plus. He said spooky.
Look, man, I didn't say B. I didn't say A.
He said you went from a D to a C plus. He said you're spooky.
But, you know, at the end of the day, the conference itself was good. It was well paced, but they just didn't execute anything right. They didn't show any gameplay on anything at all, and that's disappointing. The stuff that they could have shown that they had realistic, like what was that? The game from Software. What was the point? What was the point of even announcing that the way they did? Like I get it. You know,
sorry, just as you're talking, this for me is the central point. I can't remember half the stuff you're talking about. I can't remember half the stuff you're talking about.
And that's the issue because they like.
But you guys remember the deer game though?
Oh, don't go with that game.
But see, they had like 2 minutes of it. Like,
and it's like
the deer game.
When you look at it from the standpoint of Wasteland 3, the trailer they showed didn't even really show what kind of game it was. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, that's the part that just blows my mind. It's like, okay, I was disappointed there was no Fable. I think we all went into there, you know, with a 50-50 that there was going to be a Fable. Okay, no Fable.
I felt for you on that one. I felt for you.
I hate that, but at the end of the day, Sony's not there. They're not going to shoot the bazooka when, you know, there's no one to shoot it at. So I understand that. I'm disappointed as a fan, but I understand it as a business move. I thought they dropped the ball on Halo.
Wait, you think so? You were not impressed. Some people were emotional. I'm not going to name it.
No,
some people that were in.
They're frauding.
They fraud.
They're letting nostalgia completely grab their hair.
Wait, hold on. We got to get to it because we haven't talked about it. So, like Rand said, so the question about Infinite, why are they frauding to you? I'm curious.
They didn't show us anything to be like extremely excited about. They literally just showed. Okay, if you think about it, you know, I thought the game looks better than Halo, but they didn't even really give us a valuation of what that engine can look like in a real circumstance. We was in a dusty ass fucking
language.
My bad. We was in a dusty ship that had no lighting really whatsoever. So you couldn't see any kind of lighting particles, anything like that. Obviously, you're not on any kind of planet side, so you can't see textures on how grass looks, how the water is. We've seen that.
Chat going in on you. There's like, how is you doing that? But you getting hype about Final Fantasy. It was like they going in on you.
Okay, right they showed like 12 minutes of Final Fantasy 7 gameplay, so you're gonna have to sit down. They showed fights of Final Fantasy 7 gameplay, so you're gonna have to sit down.
Gameplay is what you're going for? That's what you're saying?
Like all the, you know, and the story completely, I don't understand. Like, when it comes to that, like, I actually looked up. If you follow Halo Follower, they actually have a really breakdown of that trailer. Like, it takes someone pausing frame to frame to understand anything remotely of what's going on. And it's like the only lighting we saw is when he opened it at the end. We don't know what the enemy is. We don't know where they are. We don't even know why Master Chief was out in space like that.
Now that is true. Going
like
continuity.
Halo 5 ended on a bridge.
I was like, that where we at? Like
and I was thinking maybe, you know, this perspective is like assuming you played Halo Wars 2. And I'm like, okay, 80% of the people who play Halo 5 are gonna play Halo Wars 2. So you dropped the ball there too.
Disney said that you're a fraud, that you the salty because Fable wasn't there. He said, don't talk no about Halo.
Look, you can say what you want. I probably have more Halo than 80% of the people in this chat on. I got like 15 days in Halo.
I'm going to disagree with you here, Addict. I actually really like the Halo Infinite trailer.
Really?
Well, it's not that I didn't like it. I just felt like they could have did way more.
Well, that's like the theme for Microsoft's conferences. They could have done way more, but they didn't. I don't know. I wasn't expecting gameplay for Halo Infinite. So
but here's the thing, like, okay, let's look at it from the Halo 5 aspect. Okay, they false marketed. We ain't even bringing that up. From E3 perspective, they showed that whack, you know, desert thing that didn't even show up in the game. Then I think
when he had the poncho,
then it was like 2 years later they showed
slice.
They showed a little bit more. Then they showed gameplay, like, but the game didn't come out for 3 years. Like, The game's coming out next year. There's no reason you can't show gameplay. I know for a fact 343 has gameplay. There's no way they don't. They had gameplay. They just chose not to use it. Gears, they chose not to use it. Wasteland 3, they chose not to use it. That's the part that just annoys me. It's like you can say what you want about Square and their Final Fantasy 80% thing. Everything was gameplay just about. You can say what you want about Nintendo. Everything was gameplay if you want.
I believe they got a whole game in Square, but they chose not to give it to you.
At the end of the day, the conference they showed was a good conference, but all they had to do was do it in a different way to present the information to you in a better way, and it would have been way better. Just Gears alone, I think the biggest thing that they dropped the ball on, the Halo thing, that's me nitpicking because I'm a huge Halo fan. I wanted more. That's me as a fan. Gears, I saw the most upset about. If they would have just got Gears right, I have a feeling the whole conference would have been way different. Just that one thing, take that little deer game and put it on the rail. Don't even show that.
Hold on. Reg 0007 said Xbox, instead of jumping, their tagline is they could have done more.
But they can. I know. I'm tired of I'm tired of people defending this company. I'm tired of it. They could have. I'm tired of them having the resources to shut people up and they don't do it.
You literally changed your score from a D to a C+.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You sound like it's still D.
I said that I was too harsh on it at first.
Right.
Because I was in the moment. I was in the moment
that people are defending it.
No, it's not defending it. I said initially my raw reactions was too much.
Okay.
Because if you look at it's just like Dizzy said. There was no Fable. I was definitely in my feelings about that. All right, but if you look at the conference on paper, you can't say that's like a D or an F.
I mean, sure, if you want to look that 14 Xbox Game Studios games, 60 games.
You're writing stuff that Phil Spencer said the day before make you upset over the conference. I'm talking about looking at the conference from a perspective that has nothing to do with that. Before that, 9 times out of 10 people that watched that had no idea Phil even said that. None whatsoever.
Get that we getting hot in here. It's about to get hot. Keep going.
At the end of the day, it's like I said, I would have preferred more gameplay. That's all I wanted. You do that little initial trailer, going all crazy. I don't know what that was about. Then you show about 3 or 4 minutes of gameplay on campaign. Then you show that Let's Escape thing. And then you move on. Then you show Wasteland gameplay 2 or 3 minutes. Just little things like that could have brought it up a whole letter.
You should go into show pacing. You got it down pat.
Really quickly, I just want to say, yeah, I was down on it, but I want to say Game Pass is amazing.
Service killed it.
Yeah, Game Pass Ultimate is such a great deal. I love how Microsoft is premiering a lot of games in Game Pass. I love that Gears Ultimate's included in the Ultimate subscriptions. You can play it early. So, I mean, there are things
that is cool. If you have the Ultimate subscription, you get...
There are things that Microsoft, that we can talk positive. I think the new Elite controller looks badass. It's
they fixed the
everything's not
and stuff too.
Awful.
Yeah, it feels nice.
There are good things, and hey, at least whatever. I want to hear King, man. I want to hear King. I need to know because I don't know because I watched Cognito and I watched Sovereign and I watched Attic, their video that day. And they were so disappointed they couldn't believe it. I honestly don't know what King thinks. King, I need to know. I gotta go. I need to know your thoughts.
I gotta go in a second. Let me finish my statement.
Finish it. Then we'll get kicked off.
It's like I said.
Well, go ahead. You know what I feel.
It's like I said that the reason I took it from a D to a C is just I do feel like the Fable not being there affected me that day because I was because you could ask about 80% there. I was like, dude, if Fable went here, I don't even know if Fable's enough to save this conference. I even said that, but I had to take that
game over there for that wax show saved your whole conference over there. One crappy game they're gonna drip dry you about, and you good with all of that, and that's gonna give you the show, right?
At least they didn't want me to play.
Give you this right
at least they didn't.
This with you on the way out.
At least they didn't want me to play a Bambi simulator.
Yeah. You salty for other reasons, but I'm gonna get into this.
I mean, what am I salty about?
I'm gonna get into this.
No, you're gonna have to explain why I'm salty. You can't make statements like that and then walk away. Oh, so you're talking? You don't want to tell me why. You're just making statements that you can't back up. That's what's going on here.
Listen.
So you fraud, and that's why we need a fraud light, because you fraud on yourself and you won't use it.
You know what it is I opened the bag a little bit, and I just don't want to be mean today. So
no, you can't sit here and make statements like that and then walk out the back door.
Hey, I'm sprinkling this on your back right there.
Addy, just for the record, you're staying at C.
Yes, I'm
C plus.
C plus.
King, Sovereign, thank you for letting me switch your order, because Red is right. I know people been dying. We did our initial, me, you, and Addict did our initial impressions outside of the comments immediately after Raw reaction. King was not present. The round was asking.
Let's pay these bills real quick. Shout out to JD Gamer with the $10 super chat. I'm sorry, but some people that are dogging Microsoft for no gameplay are the same people that said just show me a CGI trailer and I'll be good. I have receipts.
We did thing. Lord King was not present.
King was not present because he was at FanFest.
He was at FanFest. They were saying where Lord King. We need to hear Lord King. The floor is yours.
There was no salt in his juice. I believe
they just pampered you before you went in.
I believe that a lot of people will have a different opinion had they been sitting in my seat.
So you mean people have different opinion when you're bought, right? Is that what you're saying?
Let me get this dust off my shoulder.
Let's get it.
That's that Microsoft put there when they fed you, right?
No, you know what? That's some Square Enix crap on my shoulder. Come off me. That bird poo.
Continue, King. Let's get
it. Shout out to Jez, first and foremost, for being right there. And, we looked at it, and I gave him my answer. My answer still stands for the conference. Now, I'm going to start off with this. My answer for the conference is a B. I'm going to do it in different order other than the other guys, right? It's a B.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Now, in my heart, in my heart, I wanted him to go for the juggler, man. I wanted him to be Phil Dominus. When I handed him that T-shirt, I gave it to him half-heartedly. All right, because Greeny was Lord Greeny. Greeny did his job, right? So what I wanted Phil to be, Phil Dominus. Did he dominate? No, he was Phil political.
Safe.
Right? I thought, and I'm not privy to a lot of things. I know it was some deaths this weekend. Shout out to Amazon killing their game division after they saw xCloud. Shout out to that. Is
right? The director of Project xCloud.
Yeah, there's a lot of deaths coming too. All you guys that pre-ordered your stuff for Stadia, shout out to the finish line.
Stadia's pushing that. Shout out to Project xCloud.
It's in question because in October when the stuff hits the deck, y'all gonna see. Now, this is the reason why they have to get a B, all right? Because like you guys are saying, they didn't show what they could. I thought last year when they showed so much, they got into that whole chasing the bigger, better, how many number thing. We have 14 games, 60 new on our platform. No, bro, scale it back. Scale it back. Show those 14 in the proper light. Show your stuff for real. All right. Be a little bit clearer on the fact that ID at Xbox is inside Game Pass. Be a little bit clearer that if you have an existing Game Pass, that when you upgrade to Ultimate, your whole Game Pass switches to Ultimate all the way up. Not just that 1 month that you paid for. Be a little bit clearer in your messaging when you come to the single player campaign in Gears of War. Be a little bit clearer when you go into your DLC that this is a DLC segment and it shouldn't be shown on the floor. Be a little bit clearer in your messaging. I constantly was upset with these dudes when their message wasn't clear. It was a little bit convoluted because you guys just kept trying to give us so much and it was so little information.
Good point. Jess says that. Yeah, Jess kind of alluded to that.
All right, you gave me a lot of sizzle, but not enough taste. Keanu Reeves is cute on stage. That's nice. But if that is your talking point, if people are walking away and that is your highlight, Keanu's silhouette, then brother, you failed.
But King, it was breathtaking. He was breathtaking.
No, I don't care about Keanu at all. All right, it was a nice moment. It was a nice something for me to send out to somebody. It was a nice tweet for somebody that wasn't sitting 10 feet away from the man. That was cute.
You gotta stop saying it was
like. At the same time, you are expecting. I've been purchased. I've been purchased from fans to get up on stage and to tell us stuff that you did. I wanted more Battletoads. I sat there and I played Battletoads, and it's amazing. It's incredible. But why do I got to give you after the conference?
Yeah, good point.
I don't need to do this. And I don't need to sit there talking about making little memes like, where's J-Dub? No, you know what I'm saying? Dudes are supposed to be saying, yo, I see you, Cap. You right there. He doing it. You didn't do it. You became political.
Right.
You got to point out that King made xCloud look better than Microsoft made xCloud.
Yes.
IGN made Escape from Gears look better than Microsoft made Escape from Gears. Like,
if you're telling me to wait next year, how many next years I got to wait?
But let me ask you this, King. Based on your raw emotion and how you feel, I'm not correlating this to B.
You know why I'm got to give it a B?
FanFest.
No, not even that. I say I'm eliminating fanfare because if you want to give me the whole pack, give you the whole package. The whole package is going to be an A+.
Right.
But if I'm giving you just what we asking about, which is this conference, when I thought Phil was coming back out again, I looked at Jess like, what the hell? Like, how you do it? Like you didn't do it last year. Last year you pound your chest like boom. Like this year you didn't even show back up on stage. Like, you was something up. So, did you twist your ankle in the back with all this fraudery? I have absolutely no idea.
Hold on.
Supporter.
Gotta pay the bills real quick. Def Sicker $5 super chat. Gears 5, no gameplay 60 or Game Pass. Final Fantasy 7, $200 plus 50% of a game, but it has gameplay. So who's finessing who? Shout out to XO19 in London. I'm there. Salute to Def Sicker for being there for repping. Continue, kid.
I'm saying this right. It wasn't defended. You left the door open.
Yes.
You know how you slam, you want to kill that monster? You say, yo, make sure you put 2 in the head and 1 in the chest.
Yeah.
And then they tell you, make sure that monster dead, curb stomp and get him out of it. No, you can give little catchphrases. We kill monsters. I can tell you stuff that went on in the back at FanFest, but if you don't say it on the stage, my man, that don't reverberate. Yeah. So you became political. In the back, you was dominance, but up front, you was political. So this is what I'm saying here. So I know next year you got to come with that little swag and do your little thing. Listen, man, I'm the one sitting on the front line eating this salt. All right, I'm the one that's inside my DMs and inside Twitter fighting these battles that you started. All right, you started these battles that I got to sit here and tell these people that xCloud is real. But had you just pulled somebody out the crowd and said, "Yo, touch this," you know what I'm saying?
I said that exact thing.
He said it to Bill, but in defense to Bill and the project,
I know we know
they were very concerned about how that would happen. And here's the point that Bill said, and I'm not trying to be corporate, that if it goes wrong, you only got one shot.
You know something?
People already have trepidation on streaming and thinking it's fraudery. So if they botch that, I had to pull that part back because
this reminds me of when they first showed off the first Surface.
Yes,
and it crashed.
Yes,
in the live demo. that killed Surface for a long time.
Yeah, bro. So I get it.
It wasn't until the Surface 3 that it really started taking off again.
Listen. All this is my baggage.
Right.
You understand? All this is me. Even just right before the show is like, keep your expectations here. You already told me. Keep your expectations here.
Did I?
And I looked at him and I was like, man, shut up.
But you know what expectations? You know what expectations we need to keep up? The expectations that those likes need to go up. There's 130 people in this.
I gotta hit them likes.
Yeah, hit that like button. Let's get to 100 before the end of the podcast.
Over at Cole Eastwood.
Shout out to Cole. I looked
over at Cole Eastwood. I said, it's about to happen. Right? And I told people I was really feeling myself. I was feeling myself so much. Yo, and listen, to come crashing down in such a manner, and it's not like
I felt the same way, King. I really did.
Tell me your true feelings the second that montage started at the end, because you knew it was over as soon as they go into that montage.
Yo, listen, I didn't. That's the thing. Listen, I didn't. Nobody there did. You know, everybody there was like, he's coming back out. He gonna say something dazzling. He's gonna do something. Something's gonna happen. Remember
I knew the moment that I saw him ending with Halo, it was done. I knew
when he came back out the last time in the Cyberpunk. Remember that? And we was like, yo, Phil got theatric. Okay, bruh.
Yeah.
Like you
bro,
don't do that.
Bro, King, let's keep it 1,000. When we all thought, like, yo, there's one more, and then the lights came on, and we were like,
I looked at Jez. We sat there frozen for a second, and then we started seeing people filing out.
It was dead silent.
I swear to God, it felt like a funeral.
The thing is, right?
Continue.
I said to Rand on the last show we did, Rand. I said things like, or the show before, I think maybe. I was talking about how Microsoft at the corporate level, they still struggle with the human element.
Yes.
And they rely on data and formulas and stuff like that. And I think ultimately the conference felt formulaic.
Yes.
And it felt like they were, just sort of, it's like someone said, on paper, this looks really good, but the feel was wrong. And it was only after the show, and I got to speak to the producers of Bleeding Edge, and I got to speak to Gears of War, and I got to speak to Minecraft Dungeons, that it made me feel more positive about the whole thing. Like after I left E3, I honestly felt like this might be my favorite E3 ever, because there's so much to look forward to. Like I really love Minecraft Dungeons. I thought Bleeding Edge was really cool. I thought.
Question for you, Jess. How was Minecraft Dungeons? Like, I thought it looked cool. I thought it looked neat.
I got a massive preview of Minecraft Dungeons coming out early this week, but I'll just say briefly, like Minecraft Dungeons, what they've done with that game is really nail the feel of Diablo. Because like I'm a big Diablo fan on Xbox, and like I've always felt Path of Exile on Xbox is nowhere near as good as it is on PC. Like the controls are janky, and the inventory management is a pain in Path of Exile. And you got Warhammer Chaos Bane as well, which is pretty good, but it still feels a little bit janky. So nothing's really filled the Diablo 3 void until I played Minecraft Dungeons. I'm one of the only people who played it at the show, because they weren't actually giving press demos. I was just sitting right next to the guy, and he said, "Do you want to go?"
Oh, nice.
Like, yeah. Give me the controller, and I didn't let it go for 30 minutes. I wouldn't let any other journalists play it.
Nice.
It was awesome.
I gotta ask Jez and Rand this, and King touched on some points, right? And I guess I want to dive deeper. Me and Saul have had this discussion. Saul, I know you're up next. I don't want to forget this. Why do you think their mindset? Why is Microsoft? Why do you feel like they tend to hold back, right? Because the impression from a lot of Xbox fans there is that, like you said, after the conference is over, we're getting this plethora of information that sounds fantastic. Then you find out these games are great, and then you find out Project xCloud works fantastic so far in the setting that we played, right? And it's just like, but the masses don't know that, right? So we're privy, press is privy, the hardcore gamers, content creators, influencers, they are privy. But why do you think their mindset is to not reveal that on stage? I want to give it to Rand first. Like, what do you think is the thought process to the way they handle the presentation of their conferences?
I was thinking that as well. I'm not really sure, but I think there's a lot of still trepidation around what happened to Scalebound and Fable Legends, and eventually what they promised and what we ended up with Crackdown 3. I still think there's some lingering effects of that, like should we show Fable now? Like, should we hold it for next year? Should we tease what initiatives do? Like, they have, look, I still 100% believe in the direction that Xbox is going. Just because they have a bad press conference doesn't mean that I'm on I hate Xbox or whatever. That's just
Oh, shout out to Attic. He's got a roll. I know you got a roll.
Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm bugging, man. I'm bugging. I should have been out of here 10 minutes.
No worries.
Just because I didn't enjoy the show doesn't mean like suddenly, I'm going to start making Xbox hate videos. It's just one show. At the end of the day, what does it really matter? It's like, I didn't like it. I'll move on. I'll get over it. It's not that big of a thing. I just didn't enjoy the presentation. I thought they could have done a lot better. But the reason I'm excited is because the one thing I've always wanted from Xbox is just more games from them and better quality games. And, that really hasn't been the case. They don't really have a big first party stable of developers until now. So I'm looking like, Obsidian, what they're going to do for, Outer Worlds and then after Outer Worlds and the Initiative. I don't know why people think the Initiative's game is going to be a AA experience. Like, you see the people the Initiative's hiring?
But here's the thing, Ryan. I gotta come at you a little bit. You're right. On paper
champions.
Exactly. And that's why I'm concerned. Now I'm at the point where I'm not believing anything until you
sure. I mean, I'm not believing. I'm just saying I'm not going to let a conference be like, well, I hate Xbox now. It's over. It's done with. Yeah. I'm 100% PlayStation because that's not who I am. Facts. Like, it's something terrible.
The majority of Xbox users never even see this conference. Most I got friends and stuff who play Xbox, and I'm like, I'm at E3 this week, and they're like, what's E3? Yeah. Most people don't even know. Most normies don't even know what it is.
And you're right. You're right.
I do think some of their stuff is a little too kiddie. Like, I don't really like Battletoads. I don't like that design. Whether or not it plays good, whatever, but I still think it looks too kiddie.
Not for you. It's not for you.
I don't know. Like, I think it's like what Attic said.
Network, though.
On paper, it's like we got 14 games from first party. We have 60 games total, and it's like, oh man, that sounds amazing. But when you I don't know about you guys, but I thought the conference started off on a wrong foot. I don't think Outer Worlds was the best, at least best game to start it with. And that trailer,
that's another game that I didn't absorb. Like, I completely forgot Outer Worlds was even there. And the trailer was so scatterbrained, I didn't absorb it.
And the trailer was basically it was the first game shown, and then Ori 2, my game, the game I was looking forward to the most, delayed. Yeah. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Ori looked good. Ori actually not good. Out of all their games, in my opinion, Ori showed like the boss fights.
Yeah, but Cognito, dude, it's the third year we've seen a 2-minute gameplay trailer from Ori. This is why, the whole idea of Phil doesn't like to show games too early. I always kind of scoff at, because
Good point.
What do you mean? Right. 3 years, 3 E3s for Ori. 3 2-minute trailers. Halo's going to be at 3 E3s.
Yeah.
By the time it comes out, I think he just kind of said that mainly because didn't really have anything to show. Period. And then it's nice to be like, well, we don't like showing stuff early. No, you kind of clearly do sometimes when you actually have stuff to show. But yeah, that devastated me. I don't know. The problem is I'm disappointed because I know they can do better. So, that's my whole thing.
Let's get Solve. I know you're chomping at the bit, Solve. You've been patient. Solve.
Listen, you guys know my reactions. I don't think it's changed at all. I gave it a C- after the video that we did. And that remains the same. And it remains the same specifically for something that I mentioned before. And maybe my thinking in this regard is archaic. I don't know. But for me, E3 still it's the Super Bowl. Everybody's there, should be there, right? It is the one time of the year when the eyes of all of gaming are on one singular thing, right? Because if you're a PlayStation head, you're not watching Microsoft stuff other than at E3, right? Because everything's all together. The same thing for Microsoft. If you're not paying attention necessarily to PlayStation stuff.
The bills.
No doubt.
JD Gamer, thank you, brother. The $20 super chat. Microsoft's playing a high-stake game of chicken with Sony, and that's why they're holding back their big guns. They're going for the jugular next year, and that is part of the problem. They need to outmaneuver Sony with games and power. Okay. Wow. Delilah HD with the Battletoads plays well, but the art style should go in the bushes. Sony don't look aggressive at all. My nostalgia was assassinated.
And shout out to Delilah. I was online with her I told her to, definitely check it out. And I am going to agree with her as far as they didn't make them aggressive because they're appealing, they don't have kid games and they're trying to crack that kid market.
Yeah,
and that game actually talks to children, like talks to kids. So yeah, it's not aggressive for us, Delilah, and that is 100% the truth. That is no lie. And we were right there, and I can go exactly with what she said because that is true.
But did it seem like they made it easier?
No, it's not easy as that at all.
It has that Ori effect where it's like, oh, so pretty. But
I asked the dev because I'm standing there with the head guy, and shout out for me for not remembering the names. Only know Nina Christensen from head of Ninja Theory. I hope I didn't butcher her last name. Because she made sure that I played Bleeding Edge. But when he was playing, when we were touching the game, it was all hand drawn, so it's all official. It has that feel of a Cuphead type of feel without the film on it. But then when you got to the segment of the bike riding, it's so incredibly hard. I asked the dev, I said, has anybody beat it? So one guy.
Wow.
One guy today. One guy.
Wow.
Today. And he said, we have a 95% failure rate.
He was proud.
And people leave the game. I left the game there. I said, I need to just get gameplay because there's no way in hell we're going to beat this. And there's 3 players at the same time. And my 2 teammates, they looked at me. They said, you done? I said, yes. They said, okay. We all done together at the same time because it was absolutely so hard. Hopefully they got a casual mode for the
No, let me get some finish up, man, because you had some strong
like for me, it's the Super Bowl of every sports analogy you can think of when it comes to E3 is in play, right? To me, this is the time to show not only to excite your base, but to maybe get somebody who's not necessarily so interested in your ecosystem to start looking your way, because that's another thing. Why I think the big 3 are always held to a higher standard is you have the task, in addition to getting people to be excited about your games, you need to get people excited about your ecosystem. And I think they didn't do that, right? They spoke to the choir, the people that they know are going to be there regardless, but they didn't do anything that I felt brought new people in, right? During our impressions video, I said, everything that I saw of the smaller games, the Blair Witch, everything that's going into Game Pass day one, the smaller ID at Xbox, all that stuff looks great. Give me a montage of that. I don't need to see extended gameplay of that. For me, the fact that you're not showing me Gears 5 campaign gameplay of a game that's coming out in 3 months is spooky to me. It doesn't. Wow. It's worrisome to me, and I don't understand this narrative. For me, E3 is the place where you go to drop the mic, and you don't. They didn't do that. You understand?
Sony wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. And speaking from like a financial perspective, like if they still touting this as the place to be, the place to go for all these announcements and whatnot, dude, spent thousands of dollars to get there and be there for a week and experience this stuff firsthand, and to be safe, I think is a slap in the face to your base and to gamers in general. Because at that point, if that is the case and E3 really has shifted, it is not that anymore. Don't do it anymore. Come right out and say E3 is not that anymore.
Oh, pull a Sony?
Basically. Because
so you would have rather make sure that whatever that you got, make sure they don't put that out there. Just do a Sony, take my money,
not at all.
Show up.
Everything that I saw, I said it. I'm gonna play. The thing about it is,
so you're being a hypocrite.
No, it's not being a hypocrite. I'm saying I'm in line with everything I said, because I remember what you said after the conference, and that's not what you said today, brother.
No, let's just go there. Go there. I would like for you to go there, because everything I said after the conference, I'm holding it too. I said it's a B. And it ain't never changed, and it's never gonna change. Now, me being extended to all the other stuff that's after that, I have to close all that off and give you exactly how I felt right there in that moment. And I felt left at the altar. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And that's not a B though.
That's a B. I'm giving you content.
If you're giving it a B, what is the reasoning as to why we feel left at the altar? That's
okay. Well, one, I thought he was gonna come back out and say he's surprised something. it was no ice cream with my birthday cake. There was no ice cream with my birthday cake.
So you got a ham and cheese, and you wanted
I wanted some
no
lettuce and
mayonnaise,
tomatoes.
no mayonnaise.
None of the stuff was on my burger. It was terrible.
Yeah, Jez, I hear Jez talking.
For me, it wasn't the content shown, because the content's awesome, and the sheer amount of talent and skill that Ninja Theory is putting out. And I feel like a lot of some of the talking heads out there are saying the conference sucked. Really, what they're attacking is the games, and they're salty that there's no Last of Us, Xbox answer to the Last of Us. But and I think that's really unfair, because like Bleeding Edge is made by a team of 20 people.
Yes.
And that's an incredible feat. Minecraft Dungeons is made by a team of 20 people. And that's an incredible feat. And these are incredibly intelligent, passionate, creative, smart people that can do way more incredible things with their time than some asshole commenting on Twitter and stuff.
And I completely agree with that, Jez.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, if you do have those games, those bigger games, right? If you do have them in tow, why is this not the stage to say, hey, we're doing this?
Well, yeah, I agree. The whole criticism for me boils down to that sort of stuff. It falls on the people who decided this was the show it was going to be. And also for those smaller games, those scrappier games like Bleeding Edge and Minecraft Dungeons, which are being made by smaller teams, it falls on these bigger games to bring people into the ecosystem who then might try the smaller games. And that's
because are you coming to Microsoft's ecosystem for Minecraft Dungeons? Right. Is that going to convert you to a Microsoft person?
I actually expect Minecraft Dungeons to sell better than Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Minecraft Dungeons
you know what?
You know what?
Maybe that's a bad example.
Well, Minecraft Dungeons is also on every platform known to man. It's on PlayStation 4, and it's on Switch, and it's on PC. And
I think Minecraft Dungeons is going to be truly huge, but that's besides the point. Like the point is ultimately that it's supposed to be these heavy hitters that bring people into the ecosystem. And Microsoft's always saying, like, in the new Xbox app on Windows 10, there's a big button which basically says what game will you play next, and you hit it and it gives you a random Game Pass game. The whole point of Game Pass that they were pushing is that you can try games you might not have otherwise tried.
Right.
And it needs those headline Hollywood blockbusters to bring people over to try these games that you've never heard of. Like, no normie is going to have heard of Bleeding Edge, and they probably never will hear of Bleeding Edge. Unless
I think that's the problem. They failed the moment. To me, that's it.
It's the X factor that was missing, really.
Yeah, hold on one second. Face 23 BK New York with the $2 super chat. Thoughts on Inside is hearing PlayStation 5 is more powerful. We actually talked about that earlier in reference to the rumors that we heard. So, it's still up in the air, man. We still got to figure out. Solve, continue, and then your grade, and then I'll get into it.
No, that's it. Like I said, it's a C-, the same as I gave it right after the conference. Again, because the content is all stuff that I obviously want to play, and I'm interested in. I'm super interested in that Blair Witch game, because we thought it was either Alan Wake or Silent Hill, but so I
saw 12 minutes too.
And 12 minutes was another one that looked absolutely awesome.
That is an awesome concept.
So to reiterate what you guys have said, like everything that I love most about the conference was what I saw afterwards.
Yes. What I learned afterwards.
Yeah,
let me jump in. Y'all all killing this, man. This is a great one. This is one of the weirdest situations, because obviously, you saw the video me, and Addict put out, and right after raw reactions, and King's making good points too. Jez, of course, ran on fire. I think it's like the reality of the show, when you take a step back and you look at it on paper, yes, it's not a bad show on paper, right? To me, the tangible reality of xCloud, Game Pass Ultimate, the services, and Cyberpunk on their stage, yes, outstanding. Cyberpunk is my game of the generation. I definitely love that. It's not terrible. But in reference to their own IPs and the way they were presented, it was extremely lackluster. It was very pedestrian. To me, they spent more effort showcasing Cyberpunk, which is not their own IP, better than their own IPs, like a Gear. So during the Scarlet thing, I'm with Rand. Like, I rolled my eyes, because my thing is this. It felt like a straight rehash of the X rollout, right? And the way I'm saying is, I have to look at this selfishly as a hardcore gamer, right? As a hardcore Xbox game, that's my console of preference, right? This show didn't appeal to me. Now, for the masses that may not, they may like, oh, they showed 40 games. For them, it's great. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I felt it was samey. You know what I'm saying? It was safe. It was samey with the extra bit. And you can't get the base excited if you're not showing certain original IPs or at least giving people hope for the future. It's hard to say, hey, we're coming out with a new console, ready to plug some more money down. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a hard sell. I had this conversation with Eric Jackson in the DM, you know, so I know I'm about to get killed for this next one, but Halo Infinite didn't do nothing for me, Ran. It felt vertical. It felt very vertical. Graphically, I wasn't wow. It didn't look better than Cyberpunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm like, the continuity, Chief floating in space. I'm like, where is this at the end of Halo 5? I remember another conversation, them meeting Halsey or whatever. Like, where is this? So again, I'm getting shades of Master Chief with the poncho when they showed that one, and then the game came out and that wasn't there. And again, for those who were there, let me be completely honest. In that conference, before that conference started, Jez, King, Solve, the place was fever pitch. Yep. The anticipation, the hype. People were ready for Xbox to show out. They're like, Sony's not here. They're gonna show out. You know what I'm saying? At least get people hype, you know. And like King said, behind the scenes, they're talking strong. So we like, oh, they got the chest out. It's and then when it started, I would say right up into the point, Cyberpunk, the roof blew up. That place erupted. I'm not gonna lie. The emotional weight of that, it looked great. You had him, the breathtaking moment. That was the high point. At that point, it was Bambi and the Deer Games and the sizzle reel of a whole bunch of indies that they probably spent a little bit too much time with. You know, Gears with the conniption face of Kate, no gameplay, and then it just, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm looking at Attic. I'm like, okay. You know, they probably holding on, you know what I'm saying? The services are great, but it's just at the end, it just felt flat to me. And I felt it was just an opportunity missed. It didn't speak to the hardcore gamer. To the casual gamer who looks at it and say, yo, I was impressed. I saw a lot of games. That shows for you. No disrespect, but I'm just worried as the hardcore Xbox gamer, is this how it's going to be for now on? Is this the new norm? Where they're not speaking to me. I'm nervous for that, Rand. I'll be honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm just concerned because I look at a Nintendo show and they do these little nuances for their hardcore base that only their hardcore base would appreciate. Or even if they do something wrong, they say, hey, like if they would have got out, me and Attic had this conversation. If they would have got out in front of the Fable thing and say, look, y'all, we hit the Fable rumblings, keep that in check. It's not going to be there. That does so much. But you got a guy like Attic. You got all these people saying, yo, Fable might get there. You know, you've got to get in front of that stuff. So,
yeah, but by saying Fable's not going to be there, you basically confirm that it exists. Microsoft only confirmed that it exists, though. So,
but I think one of this comes back to me saying like there's a human element missing here. Yes. Microsoft's PR operation is vast. It is vast, and it permeates the whole company. They don't really have a separate PR arm for Xbox and Windows and their enterprise stuff. It all falls through the same system. And I'm wondering if like some aspects of that machine are still sort of stuck in the past.
Yes.
And,
that's failing, obviously, because you're not going to promote your enterprise stuff the same way you would promote entertainment stuff.
Right.
Over time, Xbox has been pulling away from Microsoft in general. Like we finally have a store app for PC games on Windows that's actually good. Right. And the Xbox team made that themselves, and they basically said, F you to the Windows team, we're going to do it ourselves because you guys can't do it for whatever reason. And I feel like gradually over time, Xbox is sort of establishing itself as a separate entity within Microsoft, but I still feel like there is still some of that old mindset.
Yeah, it's like a disconnect. And here's the point. It's just like, you know what's frustrating about it? I had this conversation with Saul. Jez, this is what's frustrating about it. It's not like us, we're privy to information, right? So it's not like they're lying, right? It's not like they didn't show because they're really being deceptive, right? Or they don't have nothing.
No.
God, stop.
There's no real will.
Exactly.
No will. It's just naivety a little bit.
Yeah. It's like I even talked to Shot Bill again with projects. I'm like, man, if there was some way people could see, and you know, it just, you guys have great tech, great ideas, great games. We know they're working on stuff. We know it. This is not Xbox Bash Fest. We know it's just there seems to be a conscious decision, and I think Rand is on something. It almost feels like a secret memo went out and said, look, after Scalebound, we are never showing anything. you know, if it's not 6 months, whatever. But then they sit there and then do the Gears thing, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? The Gears 5 gameplay. It's tough.
That's the scary thing. It's like, because it's so close to launch, it feels deceptive.
You know,
the
Scarlet thing, though. It just seems like they did it like that because it worked for the X. So why not repeat it? It's like, we're going to do the same exact thing down to the letters forming in the video.
I was waiting for somebody to come out and say it's a monster.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat monsters for breakfast. I was like, in my preview video, I'm like, they're going to do a hype piece. I didn't think they literally do the exact same video with, you know, talking heads up there being like 8K capability, 20 frames per second, fast loading in an SSD, hardware ray tracing. It was like literally the same video years ago.
But Ren, don't you need that, you know, ray tracing hardware, cues? Don't you need that fast SSD? Don't you need that stuff out there, because those words is being spoken in the other camp that didn't show up?
Sure, 100%. I'm just saying I would have liked a little bit more originality.
Yeah.
Instead of just copying your homework from 3 years previous.
Tell me about it.
You know, it just felt like when I can predict exactly what you're gonna do, that's not a good look. I'm a nobody. Like I don't have a business degree, I don't have a marketing degree, and I knew exactly what Microsoft was gonna do on that front. And then to see like, oh, the letters are forming again. I'm like, are they really going to this well again?
We were shocked by it. When I started seeing it, I looked over at Cognito and I was like, really? No, man, no. And it was like the same panning of the camera, the same. No, this can't be. This is it.
When I saw it.
I'll tell you something insiderish about those videos.
Talk to me.
The style of the way those videos are shot, they do that for things that they're showing developers behind closed scenes too. You guys have seen 2 of those videos with the grey background. I've seen dozens of them, and like it's not just for like these code names. It's stuff for like they've done one like this for DX12. They've done one like this for like a bunch of APIs, like the really boring dev stuff that you know just goes over our heads. This is just the style of video they use. So like I think for them, they're not thinking of it in terms of, we want this video to build hype for the console. This is like basically a high budget PowerPoint presentation.
Yes.
They send those style of videos. They send them out to devs for other things. So I do think it was like, I agree with Rand that it was a mistake for them to present it that way in exactly the same way they did last time, and it shows like a lack of imagination. But at the same time, I also think like they probably had that video done months ago, and they might have even shown it off at GDC behind closed doors, developers and stuff. And they probably just thought like, instead of spending the time and money to do like a sizzle reel this year, we'll just use the same teaser, and then we'll go in for the high production value Surface like advert next year. You know,
I guess here's my thing, and I want to double down on what you're saying, Jez, is that I always feel presentation just seems to be that Achilles heel, right? Consistent.
Oh God, yeah.
And it gets to a point where it's like, okay, what is the reasoning? Why does this happen? Because clearly the hardcore are saying this. We're saying, hey man, this just wasn't presented right. It wasn't presented right. So it's just like, is it a situation? I've had a theory, again, I could be completely wrong. I don't know this. I'm putting this for the record. It almost feels like, again, Phil may have his vision, right, of what he wants to do and how he wants to present it. But it almost feels like there's something conflicting with, I don't want to say marketing or whoever's in charge of presenting, right? And I don't know if that's Phil all the way either, but it just feels like there's a disconnect. And, the hardcore is like, yo, we want this. And they're like, no, we give you this. And this is where it's going to stay. You know what I'm saying? And there's no attempt to bridge. Like, what do you guys feel about that?
Again, this falls on like wider, pervasive Microsoft corporate problems. That it's just this sort of huge, vast machine with so many cogs and different working parts, and sort of creating the sort of consistency across their marketing, their branding, like even little things like they've got like 5 different styles of context menu on Windows 10. Like they don't have a centralized authority for a aesthetics like Apple does. Like Apple's presentation and the way they present things is always spot on. They've been selling the same iPhone for 10 years and no one seems to care, and that's partly because of their amazing consistency and that sort of thing. Microsoft sort of they do need something to improve that aspect of their delivery. But it's what can you do? It's a massive company.
Yeah, that's a good point. You put it in perspective, and I know I'm running on. I'm just going long, but JD Gamer with this $10 super chat. Microsoft will never reach the 2 billion gamers without making their core gamers, their first fans, happy. We are the cheerleaders, and the casuals come through us. Stop looking at spreadsheets and pay attention, Microsoft. That's how a lot of people feel, man. I mean, that's what I got. So overall, I still stay consistent at a C. Let's wrap up and do our rankings overall with the conferences real quick. Let's start with Lord Rand. As far as the order, who won?
I mean, it pains me to say Nintendo won. Pains me, like my soul is on fire right now. I don't care about Nintendo, but I will admit they had a good show. All the other ones are basically all the same. Square Enix, Bethesda, Microsoft, they're all in that same range. And I'm sorry, I need gameplay demos. I don't care about 2-minute quick cut trailers. They do nothing for me or CGI stuff. So yeah, that's my kind of thoughts on all this.
Lord Jez, who won E3?
Well, oh man, it's tough, because I haven't seen all the conferences to start. But I mean, again, it's like I'm kind of biased towards Microsoft, but only because I saw the stuff from afterwards. I think. Nintendo is the opposite way. Because like Nintendo had a really good show, but then the details come out after, like Animal Crossing won't have cloud save, and Pokemon.
And they're still working on Mario Party and the Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, and Pokemon's not got all the Pokemon anymore. So like, it's like the opposite. Like Nintendo was really hype, and then afterwards the hype went away. With Xbox, it was like. The hype was like nowhere to be seen, and then afterwards I sort of got hype. So I'm gonna say it's a draw between the two.
You got a draw, okay? All right. So basically, Microsoft rose up after the conference, and Nintendo rose down, and they met in the middle. Fair.
I swear, if I can't get like my Alakazam in Sword and Shield, I will be so pissed.
Oh my god, I respect that.
That's important, man.
I respect that, Lord Solve. Overall, who won E3?
I gotta go with Nintendo. What is your problem?
I hate when you talk.
You know what it is?
You know what it is? It's like he's not gonna say the same thing as me. Like,
you know what it is? You can't ask him or you who won.
Right.
Like y'all two guys gotta be exempt. And
we don't have, you gotta be exempt. You can say you was compromised.
You
was compromised.
Anytime Nintendo's in the building, y'all guys got your.
I wasn't next to Phil. Phil didn't have my shirt on.
You go.
You were compromised.
We are the journalists. You are something else. Sir.
So Nintendo for Lord Solve. Lord King, what you're going with?
Me, I'm going with, of course, number one.
Right.
Number two, I give it to Bethesda and then Microsoft, and then again Square Enix and the rest in the bush. EA is definitely in the bushes.
Oh my god! Especially for people passing out in the sun.
Right there. Jez, what was your question?
I said, how big is this bush?
Everyone's in the bushes. You gotta learn. It's a big
big bush.
Hold on, bro. Man.
So that's the rankings for yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right, Lord King, who won E3? Should I be surprised?
Okay.
Pause. Hold on.
Now you see the reason why is because Jez definitely highlighted the faults with both companies. First of all, let's shout out for who's in the bushes. All those dudes that don't make hardware, get out of here. All right, so we're not even gonna talk to you guys. And Bethesda, y'all want to try to act like y'all make hardware because your vibes. Get out of here. All right. So now it's only two people because the other person got a straight F. You failed. You failed to live up to the expectations of your your fans. You failed to live up to the expectations of the people in your company. You failed to live up to the expectations of people who thought that you would do something this week in any remote way. So for those people, those knees is in this Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, wow, that's the Sony box?
You know how that's the field box with them knees in it. Because a lot of people said, oh, don't worry, Sony's gonna show up in some form of capacity. They didn't show up at all. They got your money.
No Last of Us release date. Like that was what was rumored too.
This is what you do, right? I want you to go down to McDonald's. I want you to stick your $20 in the window and walk away because you got served just like that. All right, you got nothing. You put your money up, and you got nothing.
Damn.
All right. Now, for the two people that did show up,
Nintendo and Microsoft.
It was a good fight. But when you want to talk about a conference and a direct, a direct is not a conference.
Oh,
all right. So
we need to all buy front lights, man. All of us.
Listen, I'm going to the letter of the law.
Oh,
wow.
The letter of the law is this. The letter of the law is, all right, you choose not to have a stage, so you choose to get a minus. I got a minus out for you. So
semantics now.
But as far as content, I love their content on Nintendo show. It was great pacing. It was a good thing. It was better than last year. And you guys definitely did not come out on top. So I'm going to tell you that my fanboy is going to roll with Microsoft. There's no point in time. You already got two frauds here that's going to rock with you. You don't need me to rock with you. I'm rocking with that elite controller. I'm rocking with that elite controller and that xCloud. I'm rocking with all that stuff. I'm rocking with that Game Pass. I've been purchased, and I'm not listening to Nintendo.
Oh, you ordered it. You've been
listen. I told you from day one I was compromised. Yeah, I was compromised, but Nintendo did not win, sir.
Wow, the chat is upset.
Take that with you. Take that with you.
Oh, said so you would rather lie to yourself, King. Oh my God, they going in.
Let him go in. Let him go. Boo.
That's what he's rocking with. He's rocking with Microsoft. It's no mistake, Saab. You already know. I think Nintendo definitely got that.
Guess what I brought on with my trip? I brought my Switch. Guess what these two dudes in the bushes did not do? They did not play no Switch at no time. I did not link up. Listen, I did not link up with them.
So if you didn't see it, it didn't happen. If you didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Listen, this is the fraud for these dudes. I just really want y'all to know I gotta expose them. All right. So I'm downstairs with my Switch. I thought we was gonna have some Mario Kart and some fun. Lord. I thought it was gonna happen.
You were about that. They talk all that night with Phil before we could hook up with you while we were doing reporting.
He said I was partying with Phil at night. Hey,
doing it up.
All right, you can rap it.
You and Chaz were having drinks.
You can rap it. You can rap the shit. You can rap it.
Shout out to Def Signature. He rolling with you, King. He said, "Preach, King. I got your back. Go home."
That's my man right there.
Listen, I got Nintendo. I mean, in order, real quick. Bethesda 2, Microsoft. I have 3, Ubisoft, Square, and then PC Gaming, and then Sony with the F for incomplete for not coming. And then I'll just do something real quick. We'll get out of here. I'm just doing my top 3 games of E3, which will be obviously the legendary Cyberpunk. I don't know what type of magic they're working. I'm super excited. That's going to be my game of the gen. Jedi Fallen Order was the only thing worth even checking out EA about. And man, Respawn is on it. They're showing the versatility as a dev single player. I'm super hyped. Raw running like Titanfall. I'm all the way in. Watch Dogs Legion, like Rand said, super hype. I know people are hating on Ghostwire Tokyo, but that's like a little tie for me. I'm hype about the concept. And the last thing, I want to shout out a little indie dev studio that was on the Microsoft. It's my honorable mention. It's called Until the End. It's made by a 2-person team, husband and wife. I've heard about this game 2 years in development, 2017. They made it. Shout out to Big Sugar. They were on the ID at Xbox stage. I was very proud to see them. Check them out. You should hear more about that game coming. If you're a fan of like Inside, if you're a fan of Alone in Another World, you know what I'm saying? It's like picture that and picture Tormund from Game of Thrones running around in that world. The atmosphere is outstanding. Yo, so that's my joint. I don't know if anybody had any game of the shows they want to get in there before we get out.
Oh, I want to, like, I've already talked about Cyberpunk and Minecraft Dungeons a lot, but I really want to shout out
Let's go.
from Romero Games and Paradox Interactive called Empire of Sin.
Yes.
And I got to see it behind closed doors. It's basically XCOM meets Grand Theft Auto meets
Mafia.
Like Mafia meets Civ. It's crazy. So just really quickly, you can select loads of classic gangsters like Al Capone and stuff like that, and it's set in like 1920s Chicago, I think, during the Prohibition era. You basically you come into the city, and then it's your job to build up a criminal empire. So you go around whacking other gangsters, making protection rackets, and all the combat is turn-based, grid-based like Wasteland and XCOM. And then you have to manage your money flow and all this stuff. And the violence is spectacular. And
what platforms?
He loves some violence.
Dude, if a game's violent enough, I'm there. I don't care.
What platforms? What platforms is that?
That is coming to everything. It's going to be on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Stadia, I guess.
Nice.
But it looks it really, really, really blew my mind. Like, I really like strategy games. I really like XCOM. I really like Grand Theft Auto, and this somehow combines all of them. So
wow. So that's your honorable mention. That's your shout out for one of the.
That's my shout. My game of the show is probably tied between Minecraft Dungeons and Cyberpunk 2077. But also, I only want to shout out Dying Light 2 as well, which I feel like is under the radar. Like, honestly, I went from Cyberpunk 2077 straight to Dying Light 2. I will say, Dying Light 2 looked more polished than Cyberpunk 2077. Like the first person gameplay, like those guys are way more experienced with first person than CD Projekt Red, and you can tell.
Yeah.
So,
does anybody really believe that Cyberpunk's coming out in April though?
No,
doesn't believe. I
believe.
Me, I think so.
I believe.
I'm expecting a delay for that game.
Don't sleep on Dying Light 2. Though.
Yeah, don't sleep on Dying Light. Yo, real quick, Jez, before I wrap, did you get the chance to see John Wick Hex? I missed that one. Because I missed that one. Oh, okay, I just want to know if anybody saw that because I was going to ask you. All right. Any standouts ran for you?
Wait, let's play the bill.
Oh, my bad. Pay the bills. Gamer by choice. Thank you, brother. $10 super chat. Thank you for keeping it real in this podcast. This E3 left me saying it was okay, but I cannot wait to next E3. You all are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate the support. Big time. Rand, any of your shout outs or standouts?
Watch Dogs Legion. Thank you for the gameplay. Ubisoft, appreciate it. Shout out Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. The incredible deal that you can get and all that stuff. One of the maybe the best thing in gaming going on right now. One of the best things.
Phil's hinting that xCloud might be included in the Ultimate set.
I 100% expect xCloud to be included in either Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate. That's it. I know we're approaching the 3-hour mark. Get it up to 100 likes, people.
Please, 2 more likes, yo. Come on. 2 more likes, no doubt. Solve King, your standouts, and let's get out of here, man.
I'll go first.
xCloud for me. xCloud. It really did. And Bleeding Edge again, because that's a whole lot of game by a small team. I just like the fact that they were all there. We talked to Ronnie Tucker. They were all playing with you. There's such passion, there's such love. They were so excited to have their game finally be announced on the stage. Like that is what I love most about E3, and that's what I love most about PAX. Right? I thought E3 would be a different experience, and for the most part, it is. But when you do have those moments when you can talk to the devs and their game is shown on the biggest stage ever, there's nothing quite like it, man. So big shout out to them. And beyond that, Ultimate Alliance, man, I'm excited for next year. Yeah, it's looking good. Todd's footage got me amped.
Heroic camera, let's go.
Let's go.
No doubt. Lord King, stand out to the show. Shout outs.
We cracked that 100. That's what's up. Thank you. I do appreciate everybody that did chap in and all the super chats and all that stuff. My standouts, boy, the Remnant. That game is a randomly generated world. And the game looks fantastic. He's using the Unreal Engine. Got a chance to talk with the dev there and the PR department. I got more stuff coming. You got one video that was the FanFest video. You're gonna have the Bethesda video, and you're gonna have the E3 video that's coming next. But Battletoads, I know for some people it's not for you. For me, it is, because I'm going to sit there with my kids and I'm going to play, and it's like a cartoon just come to life. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Darksiders Genesis. That formula, see, because I don't know, I was waiting for Darksiders. I was just getting ready to purchase Darksiders today just to get that story out the way. Darksiders 3, just to gear up for this Genesis. I got a chance to play with Strife, and then you switch to War, and then War feels like War. The game is so beautiful. I love the art direction. THQ Nordic is so fantastic. I love them as a developer, and they put out such great stuff, like battle chases that wasn't talked about enough before. And I'm just booted it up, and I said I'm gonna get ready. I wanted to get off this show to play it. So I think THQ Nordic is on that wave, and if y'all haven't checked out a lot of their stuff, go check out their stuff now and get ready for the Darksiders Genesis, because it looks like it's going to continue in the next path of great Darksider games.
No doubt. And that concludes the E3 2019 recap aftermath series. Lord Jez, Lord Ran, an absolute pleasure to finally have you both back. I know we had some technical difficulties and we missed you guys for the Xbox Mafia podcast. I had my hat. You didn't see I had my hat, my cigar. I was waiting for y'all. It didn't happen, but I'm glad we was able to link on this one. So let's start off with Lord Jez. Where can the fine people find you? What do you have cooking on WindowsCentral.com, sir? I'm excited.
Well, you can find me, WindowsCentral.com, as you said. I'm also on Twitter at JezCorden, JZCorden. Next week, I'm going to list what I've got for you right now. Right now in Drafted, I have a post E3 write-up on what I think Microsoft's messaging is from the conference. Cyberpunk 2077, huge preview, details about the story and stuff like that. Minecraft Dungeons, everything you need to know, just a bullet-pointed list of everything, every question that I've got with an answer. Also, gameplay impressions, Gears of War 5, interview gameplay impressions, Minecraft Earth gameplay impressions, Edge gameplay impressions and interview, Monsters World Iceborne impressions, and like 2 impressions, Empire of Sin impressions, and Planetfall impressions, which is another Civ-like game for Xbox. So
nice. You got some heat coming, man. I can't wait, man. Loved your Project xCloud stuff, and actually, you dropped a gem about that. You said Age of Empires is becoming a Microsoft studio now? You dropped a gem last night. Can you elaborate real quick?
Yeah, so basically, I kind of teased this a few months ago, but I'd heard Microsoft was looking at taking its Age of Empires operation more seriously, and they like the work they're doing with Relic, and they are basically spinning up a new studio internally. Well, it sort of existed, but it didn't have a name, and it was sort of like a technical support studio before, just to sort of work on Age of Empires Definitive Edition, the first one. But now they're going to spin up, and hopefully they'll be sitting alongside 343 and Playground.
Are we getting the RTS studio, sir?
Hopefully, yeah. And Shannon Loftus is leading it, I believe, and you got people, you got Microsoft veterans there, like Adam Isgreen's there, and Jorg's there, and stuff like that. So it's they're serious about it, so that's cool. I don't know what they're called yet. The name's passing through their marketing department and legal and stuff, but they should have a name like really soon. They'll probably announce it when they next do the next big info drop for Age 4, whenever that happens. So
nice, huge megaton, man. Appreciate the outstanding reporting. Lord Rand, glad to have you back in good health and back in the realm. Sir, what do you have cooking up? You had a fantastic video actually yesterday in reference to the whole Lockhart thing. That was great. What else do you got cooking on? Where can the people find you?
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I wish I could have been here for the the Mafia thing.
I had the golf for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, Google didn't want the show to happen, but we got that great meme though of you going like I forget what it is. Like you like screaming or something.
I did the voice for you, man. I did the Don Corleone for you.
Yeah,
man.
so I love coming on ILP. But yeah, if you want to check out my stuff, it's Randall Thor 19 on YouTube. Appreciate you guys having me. Appreciate King for telling the truth.
Yes,
I knew he would. But hey, at the end of the day, it's everybody's opinions. Some like it, some don't. Don't twist your panties over it. It's whatever. Nobody's flip flopping, and nobody's like hating Xbox now. It's like I didn't like the show. Big deal. Move on.
PlayStation channel now, all dedicated.
Yeah, PlayStation channel all the time. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't care about PlayStation. I don't. Like I care about Xbox, so I grade them a little bit harsher than I normally would.
When you
because it's like I see potential. I see what you could be. Try to grab that brass ring next time. I know you can do much better.
No doubt. I respect that. Lord Rand, honest, always informative, keeping us abreast. Super respected. Lord Sav, where can the find you? Outstanding reporting, sir.
Yes, sir.
Out there, you agree with me.
Big shout out to Rand and Jess for coming through. Really appreciate it. And yeah, you can catch me on Twitter, Lord Sav ILP, BX Sovereign on PSN and Xbox Live, and definitely check out our videos from E3 on Iron Lords Podcast at YouTube. Cyberpunk video interview with Ronnie Tucker from Bleeding Edge.
That's great.
And our raw reaction videos from post press conferences. So please check that stuff out.
Yeah, more coming.
Yes, more coming.
Lord King, the premium Xbox E3 gamer, my man, out here dropping bombs. Everybody wanted to hear your impression. Kept it as 100 as he can.
Nintendo didn't have a conference. They had a direct. They wanted direct.
Oh my god!
So we're gonna do a direct ranking versus a conference.
Yes, they won that direct.
What have I always said? When you deal with King, you need to look at the fine.
Better check that fine print.
A king from B is like a C from anybody else, basically.
Yeah, that is.
Hey, what you got going on, bro?
First and foremost, I would love to say thank you, Jez, for showing up. I met you and I was like, man, I finally meet the guy. You know, this is the guy because he had his entourage with him. He had his it was 3 guys with him, and he was like, yeah, I'm sending him out to do things like.
You got the video?
Yeah, he was like, yes, bring me back information. I'm like, look at him. He's a stone cold boss. Like, go.
I didn't get a chance to meet you, Jez. Still, I was mad. Oh man, it's like a 33. I gotta meet Jez. Still,
there were so many people I wanted to meet. Like, I really wanted to meet Delilah, and I just couldn't work and Megatron too, and stuff like that.
Such is the nature of E3. Continue, King.
Yes, and I want to meet Rand. I want to have a drink with the man, like the man. Yes,
King. I don't drink, but I'll have a drink with you.
Oh no! Listen. Boom doesn't drink either. Yeah, they give you the finest seltzer water, the finest ginger ale,
pristine ginger ale you've ever tasted.
I'll have a drink. I don't drink, but I will make an exception with you. I'll get a Long Island iced tea, or a screwdriver or something, and we'll have a drink.
Thank you, sir. Hopefully next year we'll do it. Yeah, because like I always tell people, and I'm not gonna be a fraud on this. There's 3 people that I aspire to get my videos to their quality, and if it doesn't meet their standards, if it doesn't meet Rand's, Colt, or dealer standards, it doesn't meet my standards. And I'm telling you, these are the guys I look for when I go online at all times. That's not going to change because I love what they all bring to the table, unique stuff. So when you said this video, I was like, yeah, I watched that one. And I had shut myself off from everything E3 just to consume each conference in its entirety while I was there. So the team, I'm so pleased with the team from Sinister to Hot Monkey to Ghost Supreme to Lord Cognito to Sovereign to Boom.
Great work, boys.
It was a cohesive unit that was moving as one. We was all over. The tentacles was all over California. And some people was moving 110 miles an hour. Some people was moving 5 miles an hour, but everybody was moving, and it's a ton of content that you will get, that you will see. And it's everybody's different perspective on what they saw, how they felt. And we may not always agree. And that's why y'all tune in, because we may not that's how it is. But we do respect, and I did say hypocrite. I meant to call him a fraud. That word was too big and it was wrong. All right. So I'm gonna give him
love, my brother.
No, you know it's love. I just had to clear it up on there because I'm not gonna clear it up in your DM and I'm not gonna clear it up on on the phone call. I'm gonna clear it up here. I was just calling him a fraud. Not a hypocrite.
So much nicer.
We don't use the H word here. We use the F word here. And listen, man, they know in my heart that for me to say Nintendo was out there swinging them bats, they was knocking people upside their heads. So it was a great thing, man, and I do appreciate everybody that showed up.
Absolutely, yeah, man. A fantastic panel. Again, Jez Rand, always welcome in the realm of the Lords. I want to shout out lordsofgaming.net, Lord Dizzy, Joshua, Gondor, Condor, all the team. MJ's a boss, old school style, L Boogie, Stream Team, PD, Snaldo, all of you guys. Like just the work and uplifting us and helping us out while we're out there running around was really tremendous, man. Lord Mods Gaming, how can I forget the technical acumen, just really killing it for us on what's going on out here while we're working. Tremendous additions. We're gonna have a lot of stuff coming. King, he's got stuff cooking. King of the Statues, he's got a great stuff.
You see what Cognito made me do, right? Yeah. I couldn't put out my statue video.
No
and
statue
he's standing
yet.
there right there. You see what's coming this week.
No statue yet, but we love that Fan Fest video to give people the premium view behind the scene, how it feels like to be like the king, to see what the king is experiencing. Shout out to Phil. I got to call him Phil Dominant Spencer for throwing up the ILP though. That was kind of hot, King. I got to give you that one.
And you know what? They called me up to talk to him, and he asked me right there. He was like, "So, what do you think?" I said, "I'm not gonna do that right now."
You gonna give that impression?
No, I said I'm not. I'm not.
Hold that shirt though.
I said I'm gonna let you bask in your moment. I'm just gonna take a picture with you in the shirt, do your thing. I said, but you don't want this from me right now. So.
I need to tell you guys an embarrassing story before we go.
Let's go.
Well, like Rand and you guys, like you were talking about iced tea, right? A Long Island iced tea. Well, I went like to a business meeting or like a business lunch, right? It was like about 1 PM, and like I was with Americans, being American, and they were like they all ordered iced tea. Now, me being British, I have no idea what iced tea is.
Right.
I just automatically assumed iced tea meant alcohol.
Long Island iced tea.
Yeah, I thought because like in where I come from, we don't put ice in tea.
Right.
So I thought they were having Long Island iced tea.
Yes.
So when I ordered my drink, I was like, I'll have a double vodka. And they all looked at me like worried. Like I was like, wait, you're not drinking.
Can't contain his alcoholism.
They all looked at me like worried, and I was like, wait, are we not drinking?
He came off like a very alcoholic right there with that.
He said, I'll take a double vodka on the rocks.
Well, what time of the morning? Was it like 9 AM?
It was like 1 PM. It was like,
oh my God. It was like, Jess might have a problem.
I definitely do have a problem, but like, it's like 6 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, that is fantastic, man. Great stories. Salute to everybody. Happy Father's Day. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. The Lords will return. Peace.